intercultural collaboration and partnership. UB is an institutional member of Mobility in Asia and the Pacific and has forged partnerships with institutions based in China, Thailand, Japan, Indonesia, Malaysia, Canada, and the USA. The university has a strong international student association with more almost 400 students in enrollment. The university also offers English language bridging programs for foreign students to do well in their academic and professional endeavors. Our students enjoy employment, internships, and on-the-job trainings locally and abroad. By bridging academic acuity, involvement in research, and a motivation to do outreach and social civic engagements in an international presence, the University of Baguio makes every student 21st century and real-world ready to take on the challenges of their industry, profession, and goals. Hashtag, you belong to the University of Baguio. For the well-rounded person our world wants us to be, it's all up here.
Okay, so that is the overview regarding this University of Baguio. Now, allow me to discuss to you, okay, regarding the curriculum of the BSN, of the Bachelor of Science in Nursing. So, for you guys who are in second year right now, this is your curriculum, okay? This is your curriculum. You might be wondering, ilang curriculum ba ang BSN? As of now, wait lang po. Okay? So, Ma'am Zuring, kita?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so for the first year, you might be asking, ma'am, ilang curriculum ang existing ngayon for the BSN? There are two curriculum. Okay, so we have the first year BSN curriculum, which is still under the CMO 15 Series 2017. And then we have your second year to fourth year. For you guys who are enrolled in second year to fourth year, you have the same curriculum still under the CMO 15 Series of 2017. Ma'am, what's the difference between the two? Bakit iba kami sa first year at iba ang second year to fourth year? Now, there are difference, okay, in terms of the placement. Okay, meron lang pong nagkaroon ng difference in terms of the placement of the subjects. Okay, but the content are all the same. It's only the placement. So, hindi tayo magkakalituan where na you should not be comparing your curriculum or yourself to the first year who are presently enrolled right now and to you guys who are second year to fourth year. Kasi iba yan sa kanila. Okay? So what I am going to discuss right now is your existing curriculum. So for your first year, I'm sure just to give you an overview or a review regarding this matter because you should be familiar with your curriculum. Now, for the first year, isn't it that you have finished the 25 units of your first year that includes the theoretical foundation, anatomy and physiology for nursing, the lecture and laboratory, the biochemistry for nursing, the lecture and laboratory, and others are the general education subjects. Now, there are what we call prerequisite, okay, prerequisite. We have here the health assessment, which are prerequisite to your theoretical foundation, which is a health assessment, lecture, and laboratory, health education, and the fundamentals of nursing practice, lecture, and laboratory. This makes different from the new curriculum right now because for this time, okay, if they fail the theoretical foundation, the anatomy and physiology, they cannot get the health assessment and the fundamentals of nursing. Okay? So medyo mas tedious yung bagong curriculum this time. Okay? Wherein it should be. Okay? But it so happen na hindi na ilagay kasi during your time, okay, your stay in this curriculum. So for the second semester, of course, you are all aware regarding the health assessment, lecture and laboratory, health edu, fundamentals of nursing, lecture and laboratory, and the microbiology and parasitology for nursing. Okay? So it is your obligation that you should know the prerequisite. We all know naman na ang enrollment is merong online at merong iba sa inyo, merong nakakalusot. Well, once na as we have mentioned, okay, once na nakita ninyo na may mali, you really have to approach the office. Hindi yung grab the opportunity for you na, ay, hindi nila nakita prerequisite pero na-i-enroll ko ito. Who will suffer later on? It's you because it is a prerequisite. That's the reason I'm telling you right now, please time to time check your portal. If there are subjects that there are prerequisite but it so happened that you were able to enroll, please approach the office immediately. Hindi yung at the end of the semester, that's the time that you are going to tell us. Masasayang po ang oras ninyo. Always remember, it's not because it's the system of the University of Baguio that will come to enroll you. Hindi, wala na kayong kasalanan. You still have. Why? Because meron kayong contact in terms of your portal. Nakikita ninyo ang iyong portal. At kung alam nyo kung ano ang tama at mali, you really have to inform the office already. Then next, for the second year. Okay? For the second year, you as of now you are enrolled with the community health nursing. Okay, so these are prerequisite of your health assessment and fundamentals of nursing. So kung meron sa inyo ang hindi pa natapos ng funda at saka health assessment but you were able to enroll the community health nursing, please drop that subject because it will not be carried. The same with the pharmacology, okay, the care of mother and child adolescents for well patient, prerequisite po dyan ang anatomy and physiology and health assessment and fundamentals of nursing. So again, if so happen na hindi ka pumasa in the health assessment and the fundamentals of nursing, please do not enroll the care of mother, child, adolescents, well client for lecture and RLE. Same with our nutrition and diet therapy. If you fail the anatomy, biochemistry, and the micro, please drop those subjects, the nutrition and diet therapy. Unless, okay, we have a condition with the office and you. We have list for those kung sino yung mga with consideration, but not everybody will be given. Okay? Now, again, for your second semester, if you fail your maternal care, normal for the maternal care and care of mother, child at risk with problem or your maternal care and adolescents abnormality, pag bumagsak po kayo dyan, please do not enroll the NCM MCA 2. Okay? You are not qualified to enroll. So, ma'am, anong ibig sabihin yan? When are you going to offer the maternal 2? That will still be offered next year again for the second semester. We don't offer that first semester. Ma'am, ang ibig sabihin, madidelay ako isang taon, hindi isang sem. Yes, you are correct. You will be delayed for 1 year and not 1 semester. Okay? For nursing, we don't have graduates for December. Ang meron lang po tayo is May. Okay? And also for the nursing informatics, that is very, very important. You cannot get that. You cannot take the informatics lecture and laboratory if you did not pass your health assessment and the fundamentals of nursing. So I think we are clear regarding that matter. Okay? We are clear regarding that. Wala nang question. Ma'am, paano pag na-enroll ako ni Ma'am Dayan? Akala niya siguro, ma'am, pumasa ako. Well, it's not our fault. It is your fault because honestly speaking, you are aware that you failed the maternal one. But it so happened, accidentally, you were enrolled in the maternal two. So you should be honest enough to tell the office that you should not be, Ma'am Dayan should not enroll you in the maternal too. Ikaw ang magsabi, do not grab the opportunity. Okay? So, again, the portal, individual yan, alam mo. Okay? So, please be honest. Now, assuming that you passed all your professional subject during your second semester, well, you have the right now to enroll in the third year level. What is that third year level all about? Of course, we have here your research, pero you have to check if you pass the theoretical foundation and your mathematics. Okay, dapat natapos mo na rin yan. And of course, you can enroll this MSN3, okay, if you pass your maternal 2, okay? You can only enroll this MSN3 lecture and laboratory if you pass your maternal 2. Okay? So next is, if you pass your CHN1 on your second year, you can also enroll the CHN2 for the first semester, okay, for your community health nursing 2. At the same time, okay, for the care of older adult, for the lecture and the laboratory. We have also GELEC 1, which is the foreign language. Ma, bakit kami may foreign language? That makes the University of Baguio School of Nursing unique, where our curriculum is designed internationally. Okay? So this is your Nihongo. Okay? So again, you have to be serious in taking this subject. Why? Because without that, you cannot still graduate. Okay? Assuming you pass all the first semester, now you can now move to the second semester if you pass the MSN3. You can now take the MSN4, okay? And also the psychiatric nursing, which is the care of client with maladaptive patterns of behavior, acute and chronic. Okay? And then of course, the continuation of your Nihongo, okay? The continuation of your Nihongo, which is the foreign language too. Then, okay, congratulations, you passed already one of the hardest levels. Sabi nila, ha, according to some student, third year daw yung pinakamahirap in nursing. So once that they pass in level 3, of course, congratulations na ang pwede nating sabihin because you have already reached the 4th year. Can you imagine you are now 2nd year, no? 2 taon na lang, you are now 4th year. Okay? So, pwede ko bang malaman, sino ang nakasigurado dito magpo-4th year siya after 2 years? May I know? Pa-heart nga dyan. Miss Villanueva, go. Positive is the key. Very good. Ang dami. Dapat lang. Yung mga iba na hindi nagre-raise, good luck. Okay? So, for the 4th year, okay, yes. Lahat yan, 495. You are going level 4. By year, anong year to? 2025. Tama ba? 2022, 2023 ngayon, 23, 24, 24, 25. Yes, level 4 na kayong lahat. Okay? So for those level 4 who have passed the level 3, okay, so you can now enroll the nursing care of clients with life-threatening condition, acutely ill, multi-organ problems, high acuity and emergency situation, your NCLM MSN 5 also, okay, lecture and laboratory, the nursing leadership and management, and of course, the competency appraisal. Isa sa pinakamadali na subject ng level 4. And you will be meeting the amazing instructors of the level 4, of course. Okay? So, good luck sa inyong lahat. And then of course, meron pa rin foreign language. Walang katapusan ng foreign language. Yes, sabi ko nga, this makes unique our curriculum. German language naman yan. Okay, German language. You have two. Okay, the foreign language 3 and the foreign language 4. So that once you're going to graduate and you want to go to Germany later on, hindi nyo na problema ang language proficiency. Why? Because you're already equipped. Because one of the requirements for you to work as a nurse in Germany, you should know how to speak their language, di ba? Okay, so the University of Baguio have already given you that privilege. And then for the second semester, you pass the competency appraisal 1. So ibig sabihin, you can now move the competency appraisal 2. And of course, the disaster nursing, okay? And including the life and works of Rizal, okay? So, can you now graduate in the BSN curriculum? Yes, provided you have passed all the requirements that includes your RLE requirement. What are the RLE requirements? Okay, it will be discussed later on. Yung mga cases po ninyo, if you cannot finish your cases on time, I'm sorry, but you are not qualified to graduate the BSN curriculum or the BSN degree. Okay, so I hope my message is clear to you, everybody, na ang professional subjects are very, very important because through that is the key for you to move into the next level. Okay, so for the second year, ano ang medyo tinitignan natin dito? Of course, your maternal. Okay, so sino yung mga teachers dyan? We have Ma'am Amwao, we have Ma'am Palge, we have Ma'am, who else? Ma'am Inway, we have, and others, okay? For the community, we have Ma'am Paloga and others. So that's how important the subject that they are going to teach you, because that is a prerequisite in order for you to move to the next level. Okay? So, yan po ang ating 4-year program. So, to total, okay, lahat yan po yung ating mga what do we call this, the curriculum. I forgot to inform you. If you try to look at this, merong somewhere doon, okay, the international related learning experience, okay, as a requirement, this is optional, okay. This subject is optional. Why? Because the School of Nursing have a program na before pandemic kasi, we send student going to Japan, okay, in preparation for them to work or to experience a globally having a clinical duty in those kind of hospitals, okay? So meaning our students, our interested students, qualified student can apply for this IRLE where they can stay for 3 months in Japan or depending on the country that is being offered. To give you regarding this, as I have mentioned, the curriculum of the School of Nursing in the BSN degree, okay, is with international programs. So what is this international programs? It means that in the context of integration and globalization, the students' learning environment needs to be enhanced. Their experiences diversified and their competencies sharpened so that they can participate meaningfully in regional and global market. Ibig sabihin, you are competent to have your clinical duty, whether that is a regional hospital or a global hospital, okay, an international hospital. Meaning, before you are going to graduate, you are already equipped, okay, to have your duty with those kind big hospitals. Actually, for our level 4, one of our level 4 students, okay, who are presently enrolled right now, it is one of the plan of the school that they will also experience going to Manila, okay, to have their clinical duty in Cardinal Santos Medical Hospital and even in the medical city in Clark, because those hospitals are internationally accredited. So that pagpunta nyo ng ibang bansa, it is not your first time to see those kind of hospitals. Okay, baka mamaya, anong hospital ito? Bakit hotel yata ito? Okay, yan na po ang mga ganung klase na ang mga hospital ngayon. For this time kasi you are second year, you might be in a district hospital and primary or secondary hospital. No problem with that. Why? Because you really have to move on that level. Okay? Then next, what makes the University of Baguio School of Nursing international curriculum? It's because of our foreign language. Aside from the CMO 15 Series 2017, we have also included foreign language of 1, 2, 3, and 4, which are the Nihongo and of course Nihongo and the German language. Malay natin, later on, magkaroon din ng ibang language pa, Mandarin and others. Ma'am, you have also in the curriculum, we have also in the curriculum, the international RLE. Yes, because as I have mentioned, for those incoming fourth year, there is an opportunity for them to have their international clinical duty. That will be May until August. Okay, May until August. Okay, so how about us? Okay, for the second year student, ano ang malapit na? Yun yung mga third year natin going to that. How about the second year student? I will tell you later on. You really have to prepare yourself because there is a program for you also. Ito po yun. For our presently enrolled second year, di ba kayo yung once you pass the maternal 2, once you pass the maternal 2, you can move to maternal once you pass the maternal 1, you can move to maternal 2, and once you pass the maternal 2, you can apply for this, the summer work and travel and cultural exchange, which you will be staying in USA. Summer, which is called as the Summer Work Travel Program. This is in the United States of America. Ma'am, does this mean we will be going to USA? Definitely, if you are interested. Okay? Only if you are interested. This is not mandatory. Only if you are interested. If you passed, okay, the maternal 2 on May 2023, you can already go to USA using, of course, the student visa. Okay? Maternal 2, okay, then this international or this summer work travel program for you guys to go May of 2023 at babalik kayo ng August ng 2023 para mag-enroll for your third year at hindi kayo madidelay. Okay? Now, who are qualified to apply in this kind of program? Okay? By the way, you will be having your orientation or everybody will be going for the orientation. Hindi ko alam if this is a face-to-face or online, okay? But you guys, all second-year students will be going for orientation para malaman ninyo paano itong program na ito on September 21. September 21, why? Because if you are interested in this kind of program, kailangan 6 months before ina-apply na po yung visa ninyo. Okay? So that you can go to United States of America. Okay? So, ma'am, sino po ang pwede na mag-apply kasi I'm interested? Okay, first, check your grades. Okay? So, we have a requirement in terms of your grades. So, meaning to say, dapat hindi nagsusway ang mga grades mo in the professional subjects. Okay? 80 and above, okay, are qualified already to apply for this. Okay? So, ma'am, walang problema. 95 ako sa maternal. Okay po, you can apply. Ma'am, walang problema. I am 80 in my maternal. Okay po, you can apply. Second requirements. Okay? Second requirement. Are you financially stable so that you afford to stay, okay, you afford to stay for 3 months in the United States of America. Okay? So, sino magbabayad niyan? Kayo po. But don't worry, as you're going to do your summer work travel, you are paid also for that. It so happen, may babayaran ka din kasi. Parang, kung madiskarte ka, pwedeng bumalik yung binayad mo. Okay? Because you were able to work in USA. Okay, but this will be explained to you later on. Okay, pero syempre ang pera will not be the motivation for that. Okay? Third requirement, you don't have the intention to stay in America na. Okay, baka naman some of you after 3 months, ma'am, ayoko na pong bumalik, magti-TNT na ako. You will be disqualified for that. May interview ka, malalaman ang strategy mo, you will be disqualified for that. Okay? So, through that, fourth requirement, kailangan mo ng recommendation from your clinical instructor. Okay? Kailangan i-recommend ka nila na even you are in the USA, okay, you are also disciplined. Okay? You are disciplined. Hindi, mabait kang tao, hindi ka gagawa ng kahit na anong hindi maganda doon. Okay? So, we need the recommendation of your clinical instructors. Why? Because they know you more. Okay? And then also, okay, wala kang record in the CCSD. Okay? You have a good moral certificate that you can show to our immigrations. Okay? Mga ganyan. So, again, September 21, you are all invited to attend in this orientation. Sasabihin lahat po nila doon ano yung mga kailangan plus how much ang kailangan mong ipakita so that kailangan mong magbayad so that you can avail of that program. And of course, ano yung mga benefits na makukuha mo if you will be going there. Okay? So, isa yan sa mga highlights ng School of Nursing, the University of Baguio. Okay? Then next, how about I am incoming third year, ma'am? Okay. We have the international related experience. There are 4 or 5 batches in na student namin before pandemic, okay, who went to Japan for this IRLE, okay? They were able to take care of an elder patient, okay? So mga ganun. Now, ongoing po ang ating negotiation, but we are definite that it will be approved by our student who will be going third year and fourth year, okay, Germany and Indonesia. Okay, Germany and Indonesia. So that makes our curriculum international. Okay, next. I have mentioned to you also a while ago regarding our objectives in terms of the research. Our students, our third year and fourth year students, the faculty also have the opportunity to present their study in the different programs or in the different organizations, okay? Organization local and even international, okay? So you can also present your study internationally. You have the opportunity for that, okay? Now, after you graduate, after our student graduate, hindi lang wala na sila. No, they are still coming back, of course, to give also respect to the School of Nursing. They come and nurture also you guys, our student, okay? They do lecturing, they encourage you to do good in your study so that you can be as successful as them. They are located different countries, okay? Some are in US, some in Germany, some are in anywhere, okay? UK and others, okay? So please be a good alumni also. Okay, next, not only our student but our retired faculty who give also lecture to you our student. And Mga problema po ba later on ang trabaho after namin mag-graduate? Don't worry guys, we have partners, okay? We can recommend you after you graduate. We can recommend you with our partners, okay? Local and international. Okay, so meron tayong partner ng Santa Rosa who are looking for nurses, and we can recommend you Perpetual Health, St. Cabrini, St. Luke's, and other hospitals. Now, for the benefit of our transferees, just to inform you that the School of Nursing is one of the first school who were able granted for the face-to-face, okay? During the pandemic, that was 2020, actually the School of Nursing started our face-to-face clinical duty April of 2020. At ano yung mga ginawa namin, okay? So, as you're going to watch this video, hindi na ito yung existing ngayon, but just to give you an overview, how ano yung pinagdaanan ng School of Nursing to prepare our student to be safe in the classroom and even in the hospital. Okay, so let us watch this.
University. University of Baguio welcomes you, our nursing students, on board. As our partners in education, your safety is our priority. Let us see how you should navigate through the university safely. Before leaving for school, make sure that you have checked yourself for the following. Assess your health conditions before leaving home. No symptomatic indicators, then you're ready. Invest in a personal hygiene kit you can carry always. This includes disposable gloves, extra disposable or washable mask, disposable wipes or facial tissue, alcohol-based hand sanitizers or isopropyl alcohol. You may place these in a mesh or washable kit or in a clean reusable Ziploc. Pack your meal or snacks to bring to the university. Stash pre-packed food, bottled drinks, or healthy snacks in your bag for convenience. Wear a mask at all times. Clean your hands and strap on a mask. Place the straps behind your head or ears, then adjust the mask to cover your mouth, nose, and chin, leaving no gaps on the sides. Do not forget to wear your face shields too. Now that you have departed from your home, what should you do to enter the university? Fall in line and maintain social distancing. Maintain a 1 meter distance or more than 3 feet away from others at all times. Fall in line properly and be alert of the following procedures when entering the university. Use the sanitizing stations at every entry point of university buildings and step on the sanitizing footbath mat. Scan your temperature and download the StaySafe app on your Android or iPhone and scan the staysafe.ph QR code. You may also opt to fill out the contact tracing form. We advise you to use your own pen when accomplishing this. Submit your form to the person in charge, and you may now enter the building. Take this to heart when you use the elevator or when taking the stairs. When using the elevator, queue properly on the designated area. Follow the tape marks to guide you on where to stand while waiting for your turn to enter the elevator. A maximum of 4 individuals must enter the elevator at all times. Take a spot in one of the 4 corners of the elevator. Face the wall while riding the elevator and limit conversations or interactions. Should you decide to take the stairs, always follow the guiding arrows attached or painted on the floor. These are prominent in the university, and this help guide your easy mobility while navigating through the campus. Always use your ID to show to the instructor or lab custodian to claim your personal protective equipment or PPE. Please wait for your turn alertly and patiently. Always pay attention to signages wherever you are. These are your guides and reminders throughout your stay in the campus, and this must always be followed. Remember that abiding to these procedures not only enforce an organized and effective mobility, but helps maintain your safety and others. Observe the following when you are in your classrooms. Seats are already prearranged with 1.5-meter distance away from each other. Pay attention to advisories and stickers on the floor and walls, and use the hand sanitizer or alcohol dispenser near your classroom door. Maintain social distancing when occupying seats in the classroom, and keep your mask on at all times. Your instructor will be teaching behind a clear partition. Before entering the laboratory, wear your assigned PPE. What are the guidelines for the laboratory? Here are what you need to remember. A305 is the medical ward. A311 is the community health nursing room. And A309 is the operating room complex. Room A304 is the emergency room. A304 is the rehabilitative nursing skills laboratory. The delivery room complex is at A310. Always navigate through your classes with one-way foot traffic. A310 is the nursery room. When going to the library, the following considerations must be remembered. Again, use the hand sanitizer or alcohol dispenser by the entrance. Log in your name and information using the library pen or your own. The librarian will stand behind clear partitions to assist you. Take your turns patiently and at a distance when using library resources. You may use the library's OPAC for the reference material you need. Show this to the librarian for easier reference and access. Always navigate through your classes with one-way foot traffic and access. For easier reference, when you take your leave, fix your seat and return the resource materials borrowed to the librarian behind the partition, and sanitize your hands. Use the exit points designated and utilize the foot-controlled alcohol and hand sanitizer upon leaving. In the dining area or canteen, the following protocols must be observed. Sit on either side of the clear partition fastened to the table. You may remove your mask when you dine, and these partitions provide extra precautions for when you are conversing with your company. Observe the clean as you go policy, and sanitize and clean the table you used with a wet wipe or clean tissue. After scheduled classes, always leave on time and place your PPE in a Ziploc or paper bag for sanitation and keep this safely in your assigned locker. Always pay attention to signages wherever you are and do not flock with your peers when walking out of the building. Abiding to these procedures does not only enforce smooth mobility but helps maintain your safety and others. You are our partner in ensuring a clean, healthy, and proactive university and community. Welcome, and we look forward to learning with you here at University of Baguio. The University of
Okay, so that is what we did when we started the face-to-face classes. Those are under alert level 3 and 4. Okay, so but for this time we are already in alert level 1, but it doesn't mean that we are not going to observe the social distancing and others, okay, requirements for us, of course, to protect ourselves. Okay, so yun lang po. And thank you very much. And again, welcome to the School of Nursing.
All right, there you go. Thank you very much, Dean, for discussing the curriculum and giving a sight of this what transpired during our pandemic. So during your talk, Ma'am Dean, a lot of hands were raising, okay, especially when you are talking about the international OJT. So I believe these students are very excited to experience this international OJT. To further discuss some of the policy and guidelines that they need to follow during our face-to-face transition, may I call on our program chair, Ma'am Evangeline Soliba.
Okay, thank you very much, Soreen. This is just a short reminders. Actually, this what I'm going to mention in my orientation today is more of reminding you, because sometimes I think we tend to forget what has been told to us, the policies, some of the policies, okay? So these are just a small remindation. Let me share my screen. Slide show. Oh. I have to go. Okay, so I got this from the flexible learning approach that the university is already using right now. Okay, or yeah, that was crafted for this school year. So I'm going to move on to this one because you're already second years. You already know how to create your UB email and how to register it. So let me start my talk with class monitoring. Now that you are face-to-face, okay, all of your major professional nursing courses is being conducted face-to-face in school. Your online classes are only your minor general education courses. So you have your maternal and child nursing, NCMM MCA1, your NCMCHN1, your NFARM1, your nutrition, lab and lec, yan ang mga, and bioethics, yan ang face-to-face ninyo dito sa school. Okay? And for some students, nabigyan kayo ng class card. Okay? And that is where instructors monitor your attendance. For some, because those class cards that was used pre-pandemic. Okay, pre-pandemic. So if may natira, yan yung binigay. Pero kung kulang, Okay, what we are doing now is your attendance in school every meeting, wherein you have to write your name and you have to write your signature in a piece of paper that is being provided by the instructor, and that will be submitted here in the office and then later on to OSHCOM. But why is it important that we have to monitor your attendance in your class, in the classroom? It's because we want to monitor your progress, okay? Your progress in learning, your compliance to whatever learning activities that your instructors are giving you. Always bear in mind that what your teachers are discussing inside the classroom is just the tip of the iceberg. Okay, it's just the tip of the iceberg. There is more to that. And that is your responsibility as students to read on your own. Okay? Ang binibigay ng mga instructors ninyo or your teachers ninyo inside the classroom is just very little compared to what you should know. So you have more responsibility. Okay? You have more responsibility to read on that, to dig on that, to research on that. Okay, so if there are things you do not understand, you ask your instructor. Okay, during the classroom discussion, ask your instructor. In that way, alam din ng teacher ninyo na ay present ang batang ito. Okay, mga ganyan. Okay, so we are strict with the attendance. Okay, we're strict with the attendance, and this is how, okay, so eto, this is the how we drop your class card in the Office of the Student Affairs. Okay, if you meet once a week, if your scores meets once a week, okay, when you absent for the first time, your name will be submitted already to OSA. Okay, again, second and third absence, third absence, every time you absent yourself from your class that meets once a week, your name will be reported to the Office of the Student Affairs. Okay, and when you reach the maximum allowable number of absences, which is 20% of the number of hours, okay, like say for example, eto 3 meetings, 3.6, that would be 4 meetings, then you will be officially dropped already. You will be dropped kapag nakaapat kang absent sa subject or course ninyo na nagmi-meet once a week. Okay, so mabigat ito. Mabigat ang meeting na once a week. For those courses that meets twice a week, okay, you will be reported on your second absence, your fourth, your sixth, and your seventh absence. Okay. And how do we report your absence to the Office of Student Affairs? We do it online. Okay, we do it online. So there is a link that your instructor will fill out. That's in a Google form. Okay, and it will be submitted to the Office of Student Affairs. So when the Student of Affairs receive the report of your teacher that you were absent, the office will now notify your parents. It's either through a text message, email, or a letter that will be mailed to your parents. Okay, so that is how, so that your parents will know. Are they aware that you were absent on these days? Why? Okay, baka may nangyari, or they would say, yeah, we were aware of that. We know na he was absent, mga ganyan. Okay, what's important here is that after this one, the OSA will send you in your email a link for you to be readmitted. But before you will be readmitted, you have to undergo your consultation with OSA. okay, with the Office of the Student Affairs, so that they will know the reasons why you were absent. Okay? Ano ang problema? Is there a problem with your boarding house, with your transpo, maybe the way you manage your time, mga ganyan. Okay? So, those are the things that will be discussed during the consultation. After the consultation, if the office deems that you need referral to the CCSD, okay, this is for the counseling, then they will also refer you. Okay, and from there, they will give you the Office of Student Affairs will send an email of readmission to the student and the teacher. And from there, you will be readmitted in your class. Okay? So please be conscious of your absences. Medyo hassle. Isa pang hassle ito, isa pang stress sa inyo kung ma-report kayo sa inyong sa OSA. Okay? So as much as possible, refrain from being absent. If it is not necessary to be absent, then you have to come to school. Okay, alam natin ang weather ngayon, ang sarap, dapat nakakukot pa rin tayo sa kwarto natin, sa beds natin. But as students, okay, as instructors, we have our own responsibility. Okay, next, I want to reiterate the policy on data privacy, intellectual property rights, and plagiarism. So data privacy, University of Baguio respects one's right to privacy and commits itself to comply in good faith with the mandates of Republic Act number 10173 or the Data Privacy Act of 2012. Its implementing rules and regulations and the pertinent circular of the National Privacy Commission. Okay, so as you all know, when you enrolled in the university, you have to divulge some of this information, your home address, your cell phone number, your parents' names, mga ganyan, but those are needed. Okay, kailangan yan for your admission. But don't worry, because those data will be processed properly by the ARC. Okay, so that is just for the consumption of the university, and it will not be used in any other way. Okay. Consent must be sought from all concerned individuals prior to the video recording of virtual activities, both academic, like your synchronous classes, demo lectures, and non-academic webinars, and posting of screenshots taken during virtual class, video lectures of teachers, virtual presentations, and others in social media is strictly prohibited unless consent from concerned party or parties have been granted. Okay, so again, when you were in first year and it was your first time to go to the skills laboratory, after that, ang daming lumabas na TikTok. Okay, bawal po yan. Okay, that is not allowed. Why? Because in the first place, you are in the premises of the university. You are inside a formal classroom. When you did that, did you ask permission? Okay, so you are not supposed to be posting those. Okay, now that it's your first time to go for duty, I know all of you are excited to go for your hospital duty. Okay, do not be carried away. Okay, you can take pictures of you, yourself, but be conscious sino ang nasa background mo. Baka mamaya yung nasa likuran mo is your patient. When you took the picture, andyan yung mukha ng pasyente. And then you posted it. Okay, as much as possible, refrain from posting pictures that you took during your hospital duties. Okay, during your hospital duties, mamaya mali yung suot mong uniform, mamaya hindi ka nakamask dyan. O, instead na magpo-post ka dyan, i-appreciate yan, ibabash ka. Okay? So let's be conscious with what we post. Ang bilis yan with just a press of your finger. Okay? Ang bilis kumalat. So please be very, very wary of these things. Okay? Mag-isip ng isang beses, dalawang beses, tatlong beses bago i-click yung post na yan. Okay? So anyone found, later on, anyone found who will be posting this on social media will be dealt accordingly. May consequence yan. Next, intellectual property. Okay, so intellectual property refers to anything created by someone, including but not limited to inventions, literary work, items created by artists, like your artwork or musical pieces, symbol designs, images, pictures, and even names that are used for commercial purposes. Okay, so with this, unauthorized distribution of all learning resources prepared by the faculty members, like modules, presentations, recorded video, and virtual lectures, shall be dealt in accordance to the sanctions stipulated in the UB manuals for teaching and non-teaching personnel. Okay, so eto na naman. Okay, in one of our meeting, may lumabas na sinasabi na they have to revise the activities, the quizzes, the assessment tasks that's included in the module. Remember that before, when you were online, binibigay ang buong module sa inyo with those activities in it. Okay? But what happened? Students posted it in Course Hero. Saan pa nila? Scrib. Kung saan-saan na po-post yan. You do not have the right to post those things. Why? Because, or upload. Not post pala, upload. You don't have the right to upload those because that is not your work. Even if it was shared to you by your instructor, you do not have the right to upload that. Even test questions, even quizzes, even checklists, case presentations are not supposed to be uploaded. Anyone found to be uploading those materials will be dealt also. Ang dami nang nakaano. The worst module ng UB, ng nursing. Okay? Pero ang nakalagay doon, ang nag-upload doon is a student from another school. Ano ba yan? You should be, wala ba kayong pride na these modules were created for you? That's yours. It's good it was shared to you. Why do you have to share it? Tapos yung pinag-sharean ninyo, in-upload sa Course Hero. Tapos pinalitan ang front page, ginawang ng school nila. 'Di ba? It's nakakasakit. Your instructors spend a lot of time preparing those modules for you. Kaya ngayon, nga naka face-to-face na kayo, no more modules. The modules will be for the usage of instructors only. But again, quizzes, test papers, exams, case studies, drug studies, checklist, okay, that will be uploaded later on. And if you find that out, you will be dealt with accordingly. Plagiarism. Okay, so I think everyone knows the meaning of plagiarism. Okay, when you claim or you copy the words or the ideas of someone else's and you claim it as your own, that is plagiarism. That's the reason why some instructors, if they give you assignments, okay, they will always ask you, please write your source below. Okay? Ako noon, when I was having a lecture, I keep telling that to my students and I even tell them, If your source is the assignment of your classmate, then you should write it there. Copied from the assignment of Miss De La Cruz. O, di ba? Because when we check your papers, we will always find out why is there a similarity of these two outputs. So we get the two outputs. Tingnan mo. Pag tiningnan mo yan, parehas. So what happens? 0 kayong dalawa. Kasi may kasalanan yung nagpa-copy, may kasalanan yung kumopya. Both of you are guilty. Okay? So, learn to be independent when it comes to your learning. Okay? It's okay to ask, to ask opinions of others or to copy. Or even to include the work of other people in your output. But what's important is that you should always what? What will you do with them? You have to acknowledge them. Okay? So you give credit. You give credit to that person na kinopya mo yung work niya. This is not only applied in ethics, in research. Okay? Because sometimes instructors give you essays. Okay? And yun nga. Kung akala ninyo magaling kayo, magaling din ng instructors. Meron din silang application to check kung nangopya kayo. We'll just copy your work and then we post it. We put it in that application. Lalabas kung saan nanggaling yung work na kinopya ninyo. Okay? So, pagalingan. Kung magaling kayong mangopya, magaling din kaming mag-check. Okay? So, what I am saying here is that cheating in any form is not allowed in nursing. Plagiarism is a form of cheating. Okay? And as nurses, as future nurses, we don't want you to have that kind of personality na nag-cheat. You are dealing with lives. So please, hindi pwedeng pag-cheatan ang buhay ng isang tao when you go to the hospital. Okay. I think that's it. Ito. Yung mga memo that was issued by CHED. Okay, so the first, I think this was discussed to you before you had your limited face-to-face during the second semester. Okay, the JMC number 2021-004, which was issued last December 15, 2021. This was the first memo that was issued by the CHED in conjunction with DOH, allowing college students to have their limited face-to-face. And as what the dean said a while ago, and as what was shown in the video a while ago, we are proud to say that UB, School of Nursing, was one of the first schools here to be granted, okay, the certificate to conduct limited face-to-face. So what is included in this JMC 2021 is that ang daming nilagay, but I just crafted this one, that it mentioned here that only fully vaccinated teaching, non-teaching personnel, and students, okay, can go to school and attend the limited face-to-face. Okay, so klaro yan, fully vaccinated. Pag sinabing fully vaccinated, kapag yung vaccine na ginamit mo needs 2 doses to complete that fully vaccination, then yan, kagaya ng Pfizer, kagaya ng Sinovac, Moderna. Okay, but if your vaccine is J&J or the Johnson & Johnson na isang dose lang, then that is also considered fully vaccinated. Okay, this is also the JMC that required the medical insurance of students participating in the limited face-to-face classes. Okay, so that's the reason why we have to let you submit. If you are a minor, you have to submit with the MDR of your parents from PhilHealth, wherein your name is included in that member data record, MDR, yes, para makita na you are a dependent. But if you are of age, okay, then you have to have your own PhilHealth membership. Okay, so yan, dyan nanggaling yung policy na yan is from JMC 2021. The next memorandum order that was released was CHED Memo number 1 series of 2002, which was issued last March 18, 2022. Okay, this is a supplemental guideline to the CHED DOH Joint Memorandum Circular, or the JMC, that was issued December 2021. Okay, still, ang nakalagay doon, observe applicable guidelines for areas under alert level 2. Okay, wherein only fully vaccinated teaching personnel, non-teaching personnel, and students shall be allowed in premises. Okay, while unvaccinated or vaccinated students shall continue under flexible learning. So it's yan, ganyan yan. Ang susunod, the last one that was released last May 30 is the CHED Memo number 5. Okay, this is an amendment. Okay, may amendment doon sa first JMC 004/2021, wherein it says here that it will amend to repeal CHED DOH JMC number 2021-004 is hereby amended to repeal the following provision of Article 4, Section H. Na yun nga, ang content nito doon sa JMC is that your medical insurance. Okay, now you have to submit your medical insurance for you to have your limited face-to-face. Yan ang nakalagay doon sa unang JMC. This circular CMO number 5 is repealing this one. So meaning to say, tinatanggal na niya ito. Meaning to say, higher education institute like universities, hindi na required ang PhilHealth or hindi na required ang medical insurance. Okay? Klaro yan. Wala nang medical insurance. Bakit kami nagpapasubmit pa rin hanggang ngayon sa inyo ng PhilHealth membership or medical insurance? Okay? Saglit. Ay, tumatawag. I'm having an orientation. So, tinanggal yon na requirement ng CHED. But we are still requiring you to submit your PhilHealth or your medical insurance na nagka-cover ng COVID-19. Why? Because this is being required by our hospitals where you will be having your duty. Okay? Sila ang nagre-require, hindi ang university. Okay, so I hope that is clear. Okay, it's our partner agencies that is requiring the medical insurance from students and instructors. Okay, so that we will be allowed to go for hospital duty. Okay, I hope that is clear. I think this is the last one. Okay, thank you, Ma'am Zorin.
All right, thank you, Ma'am Vanji, for reminding our dear students of the policy. So, dear students, the guidelines that was discussed by our dean and our program chair are very, very clear. Okay, so before we proceed to that, may I again instruct you guys to please accomplish the attendance. We will be closing it after 5 minutes. So some of you did not still accomplish the attendance. Right. To move forward, may I ask our level coordinator for the continuation of the orientation, Ma'am Diane Marie Amuao.
Okay, good morning, BSN2 students. So let's proceed for another interesting topic. Thank you. So let's proceed with this one. Ayaw, may Ma'am Zurin. Can you please help me with this? Ayaw mag-move ang slide. There. Okay. Thank you. So we have here the guidelines for attendance in the orientation. It was posted in our FB page that no orientation, no duty policy. So we have to observe that strictly. Absence will be classified as either excused or unexcused based on the stipulation in the student handbook. That's it. A student who was absent with valid reason will be required to attend a scheduled reorientation with payment. And for those who have invalid reason for their absence, they must pay for the MUD fee or the make-up duty. This make-up duty, we can call that as MUD or make-up duty. There should be a payment of 100 per hour. So if you miss an 8-hour duty or an 8-hour orientation, this is considered an 8-hour orientation. So you must pay 800, a total of 800 pesos. For the process of how are we going to pay for the MUD, so first you have to submit letter of explanation addressed to your clinical instructor or addressed to your level coordinator. And on this letter of explanation, you have to indicate here the details of the reason or the details of that incident. For example, you are absent, the incident, you are absent for this RLE orientation, and that was conducted via Zoom on August 19, and you have to indicate the reason for your absence, because this LE help us to classify you, if you are excused or unexcused. Upon classification of unexcused or excused absent, you have to pay the required amount at the UB cashier's office. And the fourth step, we are going now to schedule for the make-up duty or the MUD. And upon scheduling, you have to attend to your MUD. This MUD can be done in the hospital. So you have to spend 8 hours duty in the hospital as your make-up duty. After finishing the MUD, you have to fill out the completion form. This completion form, we have to get the form from the dean's office. This is the format of letter of explanation. This is the common problem with our students who are submitting their letter of explanation or their LE. Okay, we can call that as LE or letter of explanation. Nagiging problema namin sa mga students namin is hindi sila marunong gawa ng letter. Okay, nakalimutan na ata nila ang kanilang technical writing, okay, on how to come up or how to make a letter. Okay, so first you have to make sure that there are the 5 parts of the letter. Okay, actually there are 7 parts, but we can have the 5 parts of the letter. First is the heading, whom to address the letter. You have to indicate the name, the designation, and include the date. Okay. Example, here, the name, Diana Marie D. Amwao, designation, level 2 coordinator, and you have to make a through to your clinical instructor. So we have an example here, Darren Dale Antalan, clinical instructor. So example, you are absent with in your rotation, and your CI is Mr. Antalan. So you have to through that letter. And the next part would be the greetings. Okay, so you have to say, dear Ma'am Amwao, dear Sir Antalan, or dear Dr. Antalan. So with a proper greetings. And for the body, so this is the message you want to convey. Since you want to indicate the details, okay, of the incident. So example, you are absent for this RLE orientation. So you have to indicate the who, what, when, where, and why. And for the closing, the complementary close, you have to use an appropriate closing here. You don't just say lovingly yours if you are talking about to your clinical instructor. So you might use a proper appropriate closing. You could be sincerely yours or respectfully yours. And the last part would be your signature. You have to print, you have to sign over the printed name. Okay, so that is for the format of the letter of explanation. Maybe some of the clinical instructors will have an assignment on how to make a letter, okay, for our students. That would be a suggestion. Para hindi kami namamroblema sa letter ninyo pag na-receive na namin. And of course, we'd rather not to receive letter of explanation from you. Okay. Other policies and guidelines for RLE, attendance in the clinical area, the tardiness. The student should be at the clinical area 15 minutes before the start of duty hospital time. So it's like our basis here is the clock from the hospital. Okay. Kasi we are not synchronized. Maybe our time here, Ma'am Zurin, why is this like this? Shaking. My slide is shaking. Thank you, Ma'am Zurin. Sorry for the technical error that we've experienced. So let's go back with number 3, 15 minutes. Sorry, is this the one? Number 1, sorry. The student should be at the clinical area 15 minutes before the start of duty. So our basis here is the hospital time. Sometimes our time here in the school is 15 minutes earlier than the hospital time, or it'd rather be 5 minutes earlier than the hospital time. Once you are in the hospital, you have to check the clock there, and you have to synchronize your watch with the clock in the hospital, because that would be our basis for the tardiness. Some hospitals like BGH are requiring you, is requiring you to go for duty 1 hour before the duty. Our shift, we have 3 shifts of duty. We have the morning shift, and that is 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. We have the afternoon shift, and that would be 3 p.m. to 11 p.m. And the night shift or your graveyard shift, we have 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. So since your shift is 7 a.m. to 3 p.m., expected that you will be in the area 15 minutes before 7 a.m. and that would be 6:45. You should be there. For the endorsement. For BGH, you should be there at 6 a.m. Should be 1 hour before your official shift or your official time. So for number 2, a student who reports for duty within 1 to 14 minutes after of duty is considered late. An accumulated 3 counts of tardiness are equivalent to 1 day absent, and the policies of absences will be applied from our UB student handbook. If you notice here, we are giving you 14 minutes grace period. Okay, so we have to give you a 14 minutes grace period before we are going to consider you as absent. 15 minutes late, you are considered absent. So make sure that if you have a 15 minutes late, make sure that take note that you are considered absent on that rotation or on that duty or on that day of your duty. For number 3, a student who reports for duty 15 minutes onward after of duty is considered absent and will not be allowed to attend duty for that day. If the tardiness is incurred on an 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. shift, the student may be allowed to attend the duty, but it might be counted as a make-up duty. So the student will be required the corresponding make-up duty fee. So here, in an instance that you are late for night shift, okay, so you went to the hospital at 11:15 or at 11:20 p.m. and your shift is 11 p.m. So you are considered late, okay? They will not send you home, okay? Kasi night shift yon. And for safety purposes, they allow you to have that duty, but that is considered a make-up duty for your absence, okay? But however, if you have a morning shift or 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. shift and you came late, let's say you came at around 7:20 a.m. So yes, you are considered absent on that day, and then your CI will be sending you home. And of course, you are having your make-up duty, another payment for that. Number 4, the students who are assigned in a community and school nursing should comply with the time agreed upon for departure. Travel time is not included in the duty hours. So we have our community duty and we have our community duty, school nursing duty, which the shift is 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. If your community duty is 30 minutes away from Baguio City, make sure that you have to travel 7:30 or earlier than that, 7 a.m. You are leaving now Baguio City to go to your destination or to go to your community area. So we have Luknab, Barangay Luknab, and Barangay Happy Hollow as our community nursing. So it's just a nearby barangay here in Baguio City. If you want further community, so you have to expect that by 3rd year. Absences. Absences are classified as either excused or unexcused. So make sure that you have a valid reason. So these are the following valid cause for excused absences as stated in Article 8, Section 3 of the UD Student Handbook are the following. Number 1, sickness, illness, disease that renders the student incapable to attend the regular scheduled duty. So this must be supported by a valid medical document such as your medical certificate. Second, death of an immediate member of the family. So who are the immediate family? Who are our immediate family? Of course, our father, our mother, our brother, sister, husband, wife, and siblings. Yes, your brother or sisters. So this must be supported by a valid death certificate of your immediate family member. Okay. How about if you have a grandmother or a grandfather? Okay, they are not considered as your immediate family. So you won't be excused from that absent. Number 3, sanctioned student activity by the university. The student is required to submit a letter from the Office of Student Affairs certifying a student's participation in the school function or activity. Example class is this one, the RLE orientation. So we sent a letter to your teachers of your different subjects for you to be excused from that classes that you've missed because you've attended this RLE orientation. So that's an example of that excused absence. Another one, if you attended a competition, sports or academics, then you will be excused from your classes as long as there is a letter. Number 4, illness, sickness of an immediate family member where the presence of the students is indispensable. This may include other relatives that may have an important role for the education or studies of the student, but the student must present proof of such documents. Okay, so for this one, example, you have your aunt, you have an aunt who sent you to school, okay? She's the one who's paying for your tuition fees and all, and your aunt suffer, okay, let's say suffer from a hospitalization, and you are the only one, ikaw lang yung inaasahan niya na magbabantay sa kanya or magiging watcher niya sa hospital. Okay, so yes, you will be excused with that as long as there's a proof indicating that your aunt is the one who is sending you to school. Number 5, personal appearance of the student as required by the court or immigration, proof of evidences and letters by the proper authority. Yes, so we have students. We have some foreigner students that requires them to appear in an immigration. We are allowing them as long as there is a proof or there are other documents that prove or schedule for that immigration, then we are allowing them as excuse. Still in the attendance in the clinical area, the violation and sanction. Absences in the RLE will be classified as either excuse or an excuse.
Hello. Okay. For a while, give us 1 minute to fix our technical problem. 1 minute only. So maghanda na yung kakanta dyan at tatawagin ko yung kakanta.
Hello everyone. So can we have a 5 minutes bladder break? 5 minutes lang po, we will break po tayo. Thank you.
Okay, so while you are waiting or some are waiting, kapag yung mga iba hindi kayo naiihi, okay, I will be posting already the link for your question and answer. You can start putting your questions and questions from the previous speaker that we have, from the presentation of our dean and presentation of our program chair. So you can already give the questions, okay, and so I already posted the link for the Q&A, and later on it will be facilitated by Ma'am Charmaine and Ma'am Nancy. So you can put there your questions under the presentation of presentations of Ma'am Dean and Ma'am Program Chair. Okay, I think we can continue. Ma'am Dayan.
Thank you, Ma'am Zurin. Let's continue with the violation and sanction of the just in case you incurred absences or tardiness. Absences in the RLE will be classified as either excused or unexcused. The makeup duty fee shall be paid by the student at the UB cashier's office prior to assignment in the area. The student shall submit a photocopy of the receipt and log in the specified logbook at the dean's office. Actually, we are requiring you to have the original. You have to submit the original copy of the receipt at the dean's office. The number of replacement or makeup duty will be as follows. For the excuse absence, so this one, I mentioned this earlier, just in case you were absent for the RLE orientation. So we have 1 day absence. Absent is to 1 day makeup duty, and that is equivalent to 8 hours, our 1 day makeup duty. For the unexcused absence, 1 day absence is to 2 days makeup duty or 2 days MUD, and that is equivalent to 16 hours, not 24 hours. For that Article 2, let's proceed now with other guidelines, and this time for the uniform. The following are the prescribed school uniforms that a BSN student will wear when assigned on the general ward and special areas. For the general ward, we are talking about here the OB ward, because you as a second year, you will be assigned at the OB ward. And for the special area, we are talking about here the delivery room or the nursery. Yes, delivery room and nursery room. You will be deployed on those areas because we have to align that in our lecture, maternal and child nursing, where in the hospital you have to practice the concepts that you've learned during the lecture week. For the male, the uniform for the clinical should be white tailored pants, white male nurse intern topper with red and gray stripes shown at the upper left pocket. So I will show you a picture of this later on, but some of the pictures were already posted in our Facebook page. White duty shoes and white socks. For the female, you have the white dress with red and gray stripes shown at the sleeves, apron and nurse's cup. Yes, you have a cup that is for your cupping, and white leather rubber soled shoes and white nylon stockings. For female, if you are, it's better that you have to use the pantyhose stockings rather than the knee-high stockings, because ayaw natin na mag-run ang ating stockings while you are on duty. Remember, you have 8 hours duty in the hospital. So if you want to be comfortable, you have to wear the pantyhose stockings for female. Here on this picture, so we have a red and gray stripes, and for the female on their sleeves. Okay, that one. And you have an apron also for female, or an apron. This apron, you can wear this apron only when you are in the hospital. When you are on the way to the hospital, from home to the hospital, of course, wala pa dapat yung apron. Nasa bag nyo pa lang ang apron. Ang apron, ginagamit nyo yan once you are in the area or once you are in the ward. Okay? Because that apron protects you from any dirt. Okay? Now, if you've noticed, the uniform ng female, yung kanilang button, okay, the bottom side is on the left part, okay, or left side. For the male, ang kanilang button is on the right side. Okay, so yun yung difference sa inyong mga uniform. And by the way, this one in that image is the one that you have to use in the hospital. Okay, if you will be deployed in the OB ward or in the OB ward or all wards, you have to wear this uniform. Now, for the special areas, we have the delivery room and nursery. The students who are assigned in the special areas should go to the hospital with the prescribed general ward uniform, then change with the prescribed uniform for special areas in the designated dressing areas for students. In the hospital, there is a dressing room assigned to you. Okay. There is a separate male dressing room and there is a separate female dressing room. For some naman sa BGH, minsan masikip kasi yung dressing room doon. Ang ginagawa ng ibang students is they will go to the comfort room and change there. Okay. Kapag masikip yung space. And what would be the uniform in the delivery room and nursery? So we have the gray scrub suit with name embroidered at the left side. We have also the gray face mask. We have the gray turban with name embroidered at the front. White rubber soled, and it should be slip-on, or this what we call the scrub shoes. Okay, and the white gown with UB logo. This gown, we are requiring you to have the UB lab gown because class, if you are going to get out, if you're going to get out from the delivery room and that is a sterile area, so you need to wear lab gown. Okay, for some hospitals, they are requiring you to change into your hospital uniform if you want to go out from the delivery room and you want to go to the OB ward. Okay, so you must use your lab gown. Okay, or for some, you have to change from scrub suits to white uniform. Okay, so these are the uniforms for special areas. So the turban, so if you noticed here, the names are embroidered in front, and the names for the in your upper scrub suit would be embroidered on the left side. The name, the format that was given to you is that should be surname first and your name. Okay, if you have a very long names, then you just have to ask to embroider the first name, okay, or yes, okay, to make it short. Kasi kapag sobrang mahaba yan, hindi yan kakasya sa turban ninyo or dun sa upper scrub suit. Okay, for the community uniform. Okay, so we're done. Ang dami yung uniform, no? So we have the hospital uniform, we have the DR or nursery uniform, we can call it as scrub suits. And now we have the third types of uniform, your community. For the male one, you have to use gray pants, okay, with white male nurse topper. Kung ano yung gamit ninyo sa hospital for the boys, yung gamit ninyo na upper shirt sa hospital, yun din ang gagamitin ninyo as your community uniform. But then you have to change your pants. Your pants for community uniform should be the gray one, okay, gray slacks. But in the hospital, of course, your pants, it should be the white one. And for your community uniform, you have to use black shoes, okay, for both male and female. But in the hospital, you have to use white shoes. Okay. Again, the socks that you're going to use here for both hospital and both community or skills lab would be white socks. Okay. For the female uniform, for the community, we have the gray slacks, tailored pants or slacks, okay? White short sleeve blouse with sports collar with red and gray stripes sewn at the sleeves with gray vest. Okay. Flat or 1-inch heeled black shoes and white socks. This one, for the female, meron kayong vest na pagamitin. For male, wala. Okay. And if you are the type of person who are using elevated shoes, make sure that it is only 1-inch height, okay? The community uniform is required to be worn by the students when they are assigned in community health nursing and school nursing. So, yes, you will be deployed for your school nursing, okay? You will be going to elementary school or for the high school here around Baguio or around Benguet to have your school nursing. And the uniform that you will be using is, of course, your community uniform. Okay, this is your CHN uniform. So see the male one, the upper shirt or upper topper, the topper is the same with your hospital uniform, okay? But for the girls, another blouse, another vest, and another pants for you. Okay. For the shoes, make sure that it is black and the socks is white. Okay, I hope that by this time, some of you already claimed your uniforms. Yes, because you will be having your duty soon. For the skills laboratory uniform, for BS nursing, we have the gray slacks, tailored pants, approved UB School of Nursing t-shirt. Yes, I will be showing you this one, the UB School of Nursing t-shirt, which is available from the properties office. Black duty shoes and white socks. So same with your community uniform. You have to use black shoes and white socks for both male and female. Okay. Your laboratory gown, again, we are requiring you to have the laboratory gown to be used during your written demonstration. Okay. And we have the gray scrub suit or your scrub suit to be worn only when you have the OR Tech, that is by third year, okay, by third year. here is their skills lab. If you notice here, the white shirt and gray sleeve and gray collar, this is your UB nursing t-shirt, which is available from the properties office. There are different sizes there. So please reserve one already because madali siyang maubos. Madaling maubos itong UB t-shirt kasi pati first year, makuha ng ganito. Okay, for the behavior, insubordination and disobedience. Okay. Still 30 minutes. Wait lang. Okay. For the insubordination and disobedience, so we are talking about here the behavior that is expected when you are in your uniform and even when you are not in uniform. The following are grounds for the students to be charged of insubordination or disobedience. Number one, deliberately not following instructions of the CI or other superiors that may affect the quality of care rendered to the client. Example, pag sinabi ng teacher mo, pag sinabi ng CI mo na mag-vital signs ka, mag-BP ka sa patient mo every hour for your patient who is hypertensive, and hindi mo sinunod ang CI mo, then you will be having insubordination and disobedience. Another thing, if your clinical instructor asks you to make a letter of explanation, but you didn't make one, so again, you will be charged with insubordination. Number two, refusing assignment and or choosing patients or area of assignment. Okay, for some kasi, the CI, the clinical instructor, will assign you a patient in the OB ward. And then if you refuse that patient, then you will be charged with insubordination and disobedience. Then huwag kayo namimili ng patient. So lahat ng patient, if you are a nurse, no need for you to choose your patient. Number three, repeatedly doing the same procedure incorrectly despite warning. Okay? So this one, sinabihan ka naman ng CI mo na mali ang ginagawa mo, paulit-ulit mo pa rin ginagawa. That is insubordination and disobedience. So ito yung mga matitigas ang ulo. Okay. Number four, deliberately deviating from guidelines or policies despite warning, such as going out of the ward or hospital without asking permission from the CI. Okay. During break time, of course, with your 8 hours duty, you have 30 minutes break. Okay. And during that break time, you have to ask permission from your clinical instructors. Huwag kayong ma-out of post. Okay. And you are doing that deliberately, di ka man lang nagpapalam, so you will be charged with insubordination and disobedience. So you have to ask permission from your clinical instructors. Same with when you are in the staff house, hindi lang sa hospital, okay? Kahit nasa staff house kayo, because you will be deployed outside Baguio, and you will be staying in one house, one staff house with your clinical instructor. So if you want to go to the market or if you want to go outside just to buy something for your personal thing, then you have to ask permission from your clinical instructor. Next. Another one. Sorry. Another one for the uniform. Bakit nalagpas dito? Okay. For the PPE. Okay. Or protective, personal protective equipment. This actually started. We are wearing these PPEs during the pandemic. Okay, yes, or immediately after the pandemic when we had our duty. So it's just another set of uniform for you to have, okay? Because some hospitals are requiring you to wear this PPE. So you have another head cap, or you can use surgical cap, the disposable one, and you have the suit, and you have the foot, for the foot one, for the footwear, for the foot, we are not requiring you to have that anymore, especially here in the school during your skills lab kasi madulas, natudulas yung mga, it's slippery, so it's not safe to use it. Next, violations and sanctions. This one for the reporting for duty with incomplete and or improper uniform will be sanctioned, of course. So the first offense, We are telling you this class because I want you to be informed with this so that you won't commit this violation because you don't like to have the letter of explanation or you don't have to make up duty or another expenses for you. For the first offense of not wearing the uniform, example, wala kang ID, or example, hindi white socks ang gamit mo, or examples, hindi yung slacks ang gamit mo, then, kundi scrub suit, then you have a first warning, okay? And letter of explanation, and another, okay, additional requirement or work as determined by the clinical instructor. So if you do not have an ID, or if you do not have lab gown, okay, your clinical instructor will ask you to make an LE, at the same time give you an additional work to be accomplished within the shift. For the second offense, second warning, and aside from the warning, you have a letter of explanation or LE, and this time you have to undergo the makeup duty for 8 hours, and you have to pay that 800 pesos. And for the third offense, I hope you won't be reaching this one, the third offense or the third warning, letter of explanation and the makeup duty for 16 hours. So how much is that you're going to pay? Okay, for the paraphernalia and or articles needed when on duty, this is part of your uniform. This is part of your uniform, your paraphernalia. Each student must bring all the paraphernalia needed in their respective areas of assignment every day. Okay, I want to give an emphasis on every day. Okay, every day means all your paraphernalia should be complete. If you have 6 days duty in the area, you must have a complete paraphernalia on the entire duration of your duty. Paraphernalia, these are your weapons. Okay, these are your needed things when you have your duty. Number one, okay, we have the school identification card or your ID, your UB ID. So we are checking those. The clinical instructors are checking your paraphernalia on the first day of your duty. Okay, and there is a surprise check. There's a surprise check of your paraphernalia all throughout your duty as well. Okay. Second, we have your nameplate. For this nameplate, yes, we are going to canvas what nameplate is best for you, and we are going to give you some design to choose, and you are going to choose also if it is the magnet one or the one with pin. Okay. And then the third is the pens of different inks. We have the blue, the black, and we have the red pen. Okay, why there are 3 colors of your pen? Because class, if you have a morning shift, a morning duty, you might be using a blue pen or a black pen, depending on the institution or depending on the hospital. For the red, mostly they are using the red pen for night shift. So if you're going to make nurses notes or if you're going to sign, sign in a patient's document, then you might be using red pen during night shift. So make sure you have a complete set of 10. Then the lister are the bandage scissors. We have the junior size hardbound record book, 500 pages. This record book, this serves as your notebook for the entire, for your entire nursing school, okay, from 2nd year to 3rd year to 4th year. So you can use this record book. Please do not tear off a page of this record book porque ang daming mali sa charting mo, ang daming mali sa FTAR mo. Ang ginawa mo, pinilas-pilas mo na itong mga notebook mo. No, you have to keep those. You have to keep those corrections. You have to keep those notes from 2nd year to 3rd year to 4th year, because that one you are checking your previous works. You are comparing if there is an improvement of your FDAR notes, or para makikita rin natin kung nag-i-improve ka or hindi. Okay, so you have to keep that junior size hardbound record book, 500 pages. So I will show you a picture later on. Sphygmomanometer and stethoscope. So this is the BP app. Tape measure. For the BP app, I guess you have already BP up during your fundamentals, so you already use that one. Tape measure, clinical thermometers as well, pair of gloves, sterile and clean. Ang ginagawa ng mga grupo dito, you have per group, okay, per group, they are going to buy a box of clean gloves, and yun ang lagi nilang dala kapag nag-duty sila. So, of course, kailangan nyo mag-contribute for that one box of gloves, pero you can use na that for the how many days of your duty. And for the wristwatch with second hand, okay, with second hand, because during your fundamentals time, you are asked to get the pulse rate and the RR of your patient using the second hand of your wristwatch. Then the bottle of alcohol, cotton balls, plaster or micropore, hygiene kit. So it was shown earlier by the dean, the hygiene kit, okay, a video of this hygiene kit, and RLE booklet. Okay, so there are a lot of you are asking for the RLE booklet. Ma'am, pwede po bang manguha ng RLE booklet? Ma'am, hindi ko po nakuha yung RLE booklet ko last semester because I didn't come here in the school. Nandoon po ako sa province, so hindi ko po nakuha yung aking RLE kit. Okay. I will be sending you a G form for this RLE booklet. For the transferees, of course, for the new students, of course, you can have the RLE book. We have stocks of RLE book here that will be given to you. But for those, all the students, and you lost your RLE book or you haven't get your RLE book, of course, you must pay for that RLE book. Okay, you must pay that one. Next. Okay, this one is the record book that we are talking about. We have a different brand for this. We have the Valiant, we have the Record. Okay, you have to get the junior size. Don't get the 8.5 by 11 because that is a size of short band paper that is very long, that is not handy for you. We just get only the handy book for you, served as your notebook for the duty. And we have this Lister bandage scissors. For this Lister bandage scissors, this is the recommended one because if you've noticed the blade of these scissors, there is a blunt nodule that will serve as that will slide when you are going to cut a bandage or cut the splint, the plaster of the splint. Because of this nodule or because of this blunt tip of the scissors, it won't harm the skin of your patient when you are trying to remove the bandage or you are trying to remove the splint of your client. So that is the recommended one. But we have a modified bandage scissors wherein the lower blade is also blunt, and it will help you also to slide that scissors and keep the skin of your client uninjured or unharmed. For the violations and sanctions, reporting for duty with incomplete paraphernalia will be sanctioned. Yes, that's true. Okay. So if you did not bring cotton balls, if you did not bring your plaster, or if you did not bring your scissors, there is a sanction with that. First offense, the letter of explanation or your LE. And of course, another work to be given by your clinical instructor to be submitted within the same shift or within the shift. Second offense of not having paraphernalia. Example, on day 2, day 1, wala kang cotton balls. Day 2, wala ka na namang cotton balls. So, anong ipapagawa sa'yo ng CI mo? Of course, letter of explanation and another additional requirement. But how about on the 3rd day, wala ka pa rin cotton balls? That is a 3rd offense already. So you have a verbal and written warnings issued by CI, and you have 8 hours makeup duty. So you make sure that you have a complete paraphernalia when you go for duty. Now for the grooming and appearance, the students are expected to be neat, clean, and well-groomed at all times. Okay. We are not allowing the students to use accessories like necklace, dangling earrings, bangles, anklets, rings, except wedding ring for those legally married. okay, legally married, okay. Colored hairpin, clips, and ribbons, earphones, headphones, and the like when on duty and in uniform, okay. These accessories class, we are not requiring you to bring or to wear those during duty because actually it attracts dirts, okay, it attracts germs from the hospital and you bring it home, okay, so we are avoiding those. And for the earphones, okay, bawal din yung mga colorful hairpins, bawal din yung mga colorful headbands actually, hindi nire-require ang headbands, okay, colorful hairnet, okay, bawal din ang mga yan. So you can get the black one, okay, the black pins or hairpins. For the earphones and headphones, this is for your safety purposes also. Example, when you are crossing the street and you are wearing headphones, even when you are not in uniform, you have to discipline yourself not to wear earphones or headphones in public places. Okay, along the session road, when you are walking down the session road and you are using earphones or headphones, you cannot hear. Okay, you cannot hear the vehicles coming in, or you cannot hear someone calling your name. Okay, so yun ang safety purposes, kaya hindi namin nire-require kayo na mag-earphones or headphones. Okay, when in duty and in uniform, as well as when you are not in uniform. Next, hair appearance for the male. Hair should be sport short and neatly trimmed. Okay, should not be touching collar or higher than the collar of the t-shirt. Okay, the required cut for the male is the barber's cut. Okay, so it's that 2 inches above, 2 inches, and 3 inches at the back. Okay, you should be neat looking. Yung mga long hair dyan, okay, at saka may kulay ang buhok, magsimula na kayong ipaayos ang mga buhok ninyo. Okay, ducktails or spikes are not allowed. Yes, yung mga buntot nyo dyan, patanggal na. Mustache or beard must be clean shaven. Even if you are wearing mask, you must be clean shaven. Huwag niyong itago ang inyong mga mustache or beard behind your face mask. Okay. So for females, we have long hair should be properly ponytailed and pinned up or held by black hairnets. So we are talking about here the bun hairstyle, wherein your hair must be pulled back from your face and twisted and secured with a hairnet. Okay, so you have to use make sure that the bun is placed at the back of your head or just above the neck, not on top of your head. Okay, especially class during your cupping ceremony. Okay, during your cupping, so ayaw namin na yung bun is nasa taas ng ulo ninyo. Okay, and that is you are making difficult for the cupper to put your cup. Okay, during your cupping ceremony. So the bun should be placed at the back of your head or just above the neck. Hair should not be touching the collar of the uniform. Okay, so this one we are talking about for the female who have short hair. Make sure that your hair should not be touching the collar of the uniform. Okay, collar or highlighted hair is not allowed. Okay, so same through with the clinical instructors and same with the student nurses. Yes, collar or highlighted hair is not allowed. So you have to dye it with black or dye it with brown. Nail and makeup. Fingernails should be trimmed short, no nail polish. Okay. Yes, we are not requiring you to have this. You have to remove your nail polish before the duty. You have to trim it short. Wearing of heavy makeup, bright, dark shadow, dark, bright red lipstick, heavy foundation, and powder is prohibited. Okay. Of course, there are some, we have to make sure that we are presentable to our patient and make sure that the occasion that we are going to have is the duty, not a party. Okay, yung pupuntahan naman natin is duty, hindi party. Bakit kailangan mo pang mag-heavy makeup? Okay, so, but in some students who have a pale skin, maybe that is genetics, okay, you might at least dab powder or just give color to your face if you have a pale skin, okay, para hindi ka mukhang pasyente, mukhang ikaw pa ang naging pasyente. Okay, because of your pale skin. Okay, meron kasi mga bata na pale talaga ang kanilang skin. So you can add some tint on your face or some color on your face. Wearing of colored contact lenses is not allowed. For health reasons, colorless contact lenses will be worn, okay? Yes, there are some blue contact lenses or green contact lenses. So we prefer the colorless one, okay? Tattoos on the exposed part of the body are prohibited. If tattoo already exists prior to entrance to the course, the student is advised to cover or conceal it. Some students have their tattoos on the arms, on the forearms. You have to cover it with arm warmer, or you can cover it with your jacket. Okay, para hindi visible yung mga tattoos ninyo, especially yung mga permanent tattoos. Next, violation and sanctions. Failure to comply with any of the regulations on grooming and appearance will be sanctioned accordingly. The first offense, student is advised to comply or fix self. Okay, so kapag may mustache, so you are advised to fix yourself first. Letter of explanation, submit additional work as determined by CI. Okay, another word. For the second offense, another LE, and this time you have MUD. And for the third offense, you have 2 days MUD equivalent to 16 hours. But of course, we don't like you to be sanctioned with your grooming and appearance. Okay, that's ridiculous that you are having MUD just because you have a nail polish or just because you did not shave yourself. Okay, so you have to make sure that you have to properly groom and you have to appear good with your patient. Behavior. The guidelines on behavior will cover issues concerning attitudes like insubordination or disobedience, errors in medication and treatment, negligent acts, malpractice, and other clinically related errors committed in the area while the student is on duty. Yes, of course, ito yung iniiwasan natin, class, yung magkaroon tayo ng mga medication errors, mga clinical errors while on duty. So yun yung iniiwasan natin na mangyari sa mga pasyente natin at sa you as a nurse also. You don't like to commit these errors. So a thorough investigation will be conducted on errors committed or misbehavior in the clinical area. The student is required to submit an incident report before going off duty. The CI is likewise required to make his or her own IR or the incident report, and these copies of both IR must be submitted to the department head of the BSN program in the hospital and to the dean of the School of Nursing as soon as possible. In case you have a medication error in the area, okay, so you have to furnish this incident report. Both the CI who is handling the student who committed the medication error will make IR or will make and submit the incident report. So dalawa kayo ng CI mo mag-IR. And with this IR, if they are asking you for IR or LE, you must submit that immediately because that IR or LE will actually explain your side. Okay, so doon na nakikita yung mga incidents. Next, for the sanction, the first offense, letter of explanation, just in case you have a clinical errors, additional requirement related to the clinical duties determined by the CI, so additional work. And second offense, letter of explanation, 8 hours MUD and additional work from the CI. For the third offense, 16 hours makeup duty and additional research work as determined by the CI. So this time for the third offense, additional research work. Okay, so mas mahirap yan. For the medication and treatment error, the medication and treatment errors include, but are not limited to the following. So these are you have to take note of this so that you won't be doing this in the area. Number 1, failure to give prescribed medication and or treatment. Example, it's time for the patient to receive the cardiac meds or receive the antibiotic at 8 a.m. but you failed to give that at 8 a.m., okay, nakalimutan mo. So naalala mo na lang after lunchtime. Okay, so that is considered medication error. Giving wrong medicine to a patient. Okay, giving wrong medicine to a patient. Instead na antibiotic ang binigay mo is anti-hypertensive drugs. So that is a medication error. Giving medicine treatment to a wrong patient. Example, you are going to give antibiotic to patient A, but you gave the medicine to a wrong patient, patient X. So you are committing a medication error in there. Giving medicine using a wrong route. Okay, example, that medicine should be given intravenous, but you gave it orally. Okay. Giving wrong dose of medicine instead of one whole tablet, the prescribed dose is a whole tablet, but you given 2 tablets. So that is a wrong dose of medicine. Giving medicine treatment without a doctor's order. Yan. So, nagbigay ka ng amlodipine for your patient, okay? And that is not in the order, that is not in the physician's order. So you are committing medication error. And giving medicine prepared by another, okay? So if it was prepared by your classmate, okay? Your classmate A, okay, prepared the medication, and you give the classmate B who gave the medication. So that is a medication error. That is considered medication error because the rule here is the one who prepared the medication should be the one who gave or administered the medication to the client. Okay, we have an exemption here because one of the hospitals that you will be deploying is that requiring you to prepare only the IV medications, but it is the staff nurses who will give the medicines or the medications that you prepared. Yeah. So with this medication and treatment error, you avoided these incidents if you are observing the 10 rights of drug administration or the 15 rights of drug administration that will be discussed in your pharma lecture. Okay. Medication and treatment for the first offense, if you have a medication error, you have to make IR, and first offense, you have 16 hours make-up duty and intensive drug study of medicines as determined by the CI. Copy to be submitted at the Dean's office. Okay. So if you have medication error on amlodipine, then you have to make a drug study on that, not only the amlodipine, but other medications. So it's like an intensive drug study. So you have to recite that one to your clinical instructor as an additional sanction for the first offense. For the second offense, incident report, 24 hours makeup duty. So that is equivalent to 3 days makeup duty, and a case study to be presented to the faculty. And the third offense, incident report, same, but this one increasing, there's an increasing number of the makeup duty, at least 32 hours, and case study to be presented to the faculty. So ang daming gagawin kapag nagkaroon ng medication error. Any act of negligence that may seriously injure or cause the life of a client will be subject to litigation and will be endorsed to the Office of Student Affairs for further investigation. The following provisions will cover, but are not limited to, the act of negligence that may endanger the life of the client. So this negligence means this is your failure to act upon, okay? Ina-expect mo, you as a student nurse, ina-expect mo na gawin mo dapat talaga ang nararapat, okay? So, using defective equipment apparatus that may cause injury or trauma to the client. So, that is an act of negligence, okay? Alam mong sira na nga yung defibrillator or, yes, pinilit mo pa rin gamitin, okay? So that will cause injury or trauma to the client. That is an act of negligence. Failure to ensure safety of patient at all times. Example, you failed to put the side rails up. Okay, yung mga side rails ng mga patient ninyo, hindi mo tinaas. Ang nangyari, nahulog ang patient mo. So, act of negligence because you failed to put up the side rails. Okay. Under infusion, over infusion of intravenous fluids. So we are talking about here the IVFs. Kapag nagkaroon ng under infusion or over infusion, that may cause fluid overload to your client. Example, kapag may heart disease ang inyong client, so they are risk for having cardiac overload and na fast drip or mabilis yung drop ng IVF mo that will cause harm to the client. That is an example of that is considered a negligent act. Delay in changing consumed IVF. Okay, so more on, ito ang laging problema sa area, yung nadidelay. Okay, that's why you as a nurse, you have to regularly monitor. Okay, you have to regularly monitor the flow rate or the drop rate of your IVF, of the IVF of your client. Kasi sometimes there are some manufacturer's defect on the IV line, yung roller or the roller clamp na madaling malastred. Pag in-on mo or in-off mo, yun pala naka-on siya. Pag in-off mo, yun pala naka-on, pumapata. So there's some factory or manufacturer's defect on the IV line. So you have to check that one. Minsan naman, ang ginagawa ng patient, ginagalaw niya yung roller clamp or pinapabilisan niya ang kanyang IVF para maubos na at nang makauwi na siya. So minsan may mga ganong pasyente. So you have to monitor that one. Failure to report signs and symptoms of infiltrated IV site. If we say infiltrated IV site, ito yung namamaga ang kamay. Okay? Namamaga na nga ang kamay ni hindi mo pa pinalitan or hindi mo ini-off yung IV at ma-reinsert at mailipat sa kabilang kamay. So kapag namamaga na ang kamay dahil sa IVF, you should have to take an action on that. Huwag mo pa rin pinipilit na magbigay ng medication on that or pinipilit na i-on or yes, i-on ang iyong IVF. Alam mo na magana yung kamay niya, okay? Leaving thermometer longer than time allotted, okay? Good thing for your digital thermometer, there's an alarm, okay? It will create sound when it's time for the thermometer to be removed. It means nag-read na kasi mayroon na siyang reading. Kaya pwede mo na siyang tanggalin. So nag-alarm. Before kasi we are using the mercurial type of thermometer. Ang nangyayari, nakakalimutan ng mga student nurses. So ang nangyayari, nahuhulog yung thermometer. So nabasag and the mercury scattered on the floor and it will cause, that is toxic. We know that the mercury is toxic. That's why it was phased out, the mercurial type of thermometer, and it was replaced with the digital type that we are using nowadays. Marami tayong different types of this thermometer, okay? So again, even though may alarm yon, may sound na nakikreate after reading, baka hindi mo narinig, so, and the thermometer is still on the patient, so that is an act of negligence. Any negligent act that may have caused serious injury or death of the client. Okay, so maybe wrong medication that will cause the cardiac arrest for the client, then that is an act of negligence. Another example is the improper application of hot and cold treatment to client. There is a proper way on application of this, the hot and cold. Kasi minsan, yung hot item na nilagay mo dun sa patient, it will cause burn to the client, as well as yung cold, okay, ice packs. Some ice packs, if not properly applied, will cause burn injury to your client. So be careful when you are applying hot and cold treatment. So act of negligence, for the first offense, incident report, and 16 hours makeup duty, and case study to be presented to the faculty. For the second offense, incident report again, and 24 hours makeup duty and case study. For the third offense, in addition to incident report and case study, you have a 32 hours makeup duty. Okay. That one. The following are some but not limited other clinically related errors. So the following are some but not limited to clinically related errors that may hamper the smooth performance of clinical procedures in the care of client. Documentation errors that include the following: wrong charting in a wrong form, or inadequate, improper charting. We are talking about here your FDAR, okay? Your FDAR, nurse's notes. Minsan kasi ibang mga pasyente, hindi nila chine-check yung patient's chart, nag-chart na pala sila dun sa may physician's order, okay? Hindi ka naman doctor, so you have to check, you have to review your patient's chart and check for the nurse's notes form. There's a form there for nurse's notes, and you have to write down there your FDAR notes, okay? Remember, class, that nursing documentation is the hallmark of nursing accountability. It's very important. Nursing or FDAR is a very important one. Kaya pag paulit-ulit na binabalik sa inyo ng CI ninyo, ang FDAR ninyo, huwag kayong maaasar. Because class, if wrong yung charting ninyo, o nagkaroon ng improper charting and kailangan pala sa legal suits or legal action yung inyong patient or ang kaso ng inyong patient, and mali-mali ang charting mo, so doon tayo malalagot. Okay, so you have to make sure that you have to do accurate documentation. Next, other clinical related errors, violations of the principles of aseptic technique. Okay, so you break the principle of aseptic technique. Hindi sterile, okay? That's why in your gloving sterile technique, so again, you learn this from your fundamentals, the proper gloving. If you break the aseptic techniques for gloving, you have to remove that gloves and try again. Okay. Wrong sponge count, improper labeling of specimen, wrong identification of newborn. For the wrong sponge count, so we are talking about here for the OR, operating room. Okay. For the improper labeling of specimen, sometimes by second sem, maybe you might be assisting DNC, okay, and they might be collecting specimen, so you have to properly label the specimen. Same thing with the operating room. Kapag left fallopian tube ang tinanggal, make sure na dun sa may bottle, sa may specimen bottle, ang i-record mo dun or i-label mo is left fallopian tube, kasi yun yung natanggal. So you have to properly label the specimen. Wrong identification of newborn or the name tag. Okay, so here in the hospital, in BGH or in other hospitals, so you are requiring to put name tag on the newborn, on the ankle, okay, on the ankle of your patient. So it could be on the left ankle or on the right ankle. Huwag dalawa, okay, isa lang ang pwede niyong ilagay, okay, isa lang na name tag. Huwag niyong lagyan yung dalawang paa. Okay. Especially if you are going to assist for a twin, okay, twin delivery, kailangan i-label mo na agad si baby 1, yung unang lumabas na baby, you have to label it immediately, label it with proper name, and baby 2, for the second baby, again, label it immediately, para hindi mag-mix up. Okay. Same through kapag minsan sa PGH, sabay-sabay ang deliveries. Minsan 4 deliveries, sabay-sabay yon. So, kailangan lagyan mo na agad ng tag yung baby na in-assist mo, okay? Yung i-cord care mo. Kasi para hindi na naman magkaroon ng misidentification. Baka yun pala, napagpalit ang mga babies. You are hearing such cases na nagkapalit ang mga babies. So nagkakaroon ng DNA testing. Okay. Other clinical related errors. The following are some, but not limited to clinically related errors that may hamper. Oh, this is double entry. Sorry for that. Okay. The following are some, but not limited to clinical. Ayan, forgery. Okay. Forgery, which includes the following documents. Okay, so wag kayong namimeke ng mga signatures. Okay, so waiver, health certificate, pregnancy test result, official receipts, other pertinent documents or requirements. So wag niyong pekehin yung mga documents na yan because that would be, there's a sanction for that. And that is based on the article, what is 15, section 1 of the UB student handbook. Okay, so for all your mga pinapasubmit namin sa inyo, for example, receipt for your MUD, ang ginagawa mo, pinipeke mo yung mga receipt. So, akala namin nagbayad ka doon, hindi pala. One, all students are required to take the scheduled pre and post-evaluation examinations and mock board examinations of their respective year levels. Yes, we have a pre-test. It will be scheduled by September, and we have the post-test will be scheduled by December. The post-evaluation examination, the result is part of the RLE subjects. The policy on completion and special examination as stipulated in the UB student handbook shall be applied to students who are not present during the scheduled examination period. Example, hindi naka-attend yung bata or hindi ka naka-attend sa examination during the post-examination kasi nagkaroon ka ng sakit, okay? Now, you will undergo the special examination and there is a payment for that, okay, for the special examination. We are requiring a special examination for those who have excused, okay, for those who have a valid reasons why they were absent during the examination day of the post-evaluation exam. Case study or case presentation clinical paper. So this is a requirement. This requirement, actually yung case study, it's not a required for this semester, but your clinical instructor will be requiring you to submit a clinical paper. The clinical paper will be discussed further by your clinical instructors in the area. Okay, wala pa tayong case study this sem, but you have to expect a case study by second sem. Okay, you have to start this one, creating a case study at the same time case presentation. Board and lodging, so we are talking about here the staff house in the area, especially outside Baguio duty. Students are required to stay in the same boarding house with the respective CI. Okay, if your CI is not staying with you, please inform us because that is not allowed. Okay, parents, guardians of students who opt for their children to stay in their respective houses should appear personally and submit a letter of permission to the CI or to the level coordinator prior to the date of clinical duty. Make sure that the housemates are fully vaccinated. In some cases wherein you will be deployed in Bauco, Mountain Province, and you are just nearby, or taga doon ka, taga Bauco ka, and you want to stay in your house, please ask permission first. Okay, and it's a requirement na dapat lahat ng mga kasambahay mo o lahat ng kasama mo sa house, kasama sa house are fully vaccinated. Students are required to secure permission from their CI and inform the CI of their whereabouts every time they go out. Okay, so kailangan din na there is documentation. Since nasa house ka, so dapat ini-inform mo rin ang CI mo na nasa house ka, o kapag lumabas ka ng house, you should fully inform your clinical instructors on your whereabouts. For the transportation, going outside Baguio for your duty, students are required to travel with their respective CIs, both in going to the area outside Baguio City and La Trinidad, Benguet, and when coming back to Baguio. We are talking about here outside La Trinidad and outside Baguio. So we have Lepanto, we have Bugyas, we have Bontoc. Yes, Lepanto, Bugyas, and Bontoc. Those are your outside duty. And during the travel time, make sure that your CI should accompany you from Baguio to your area. Parents, guardians of students who prefer their children to travel alone with their own car should submit a letter of request personally to the CI or the level coordinator prior to date of clinical duty. Again, you have to submit a letter for this. Minsan kasi may mga sariling sasakyan yung mga students. Okay? But for safety purposes, it's better that you will be joining your group, okay, in traveling. CI must coordinate with the respective students as to the time of departure, assembly place, and the type of transportation to be used. Yes, this one, you have the CI must accomplish the OSH departure or arrival form and submit to level coordinator and the marshals on duty at FB building or the security guard on duty. So meron tayong sa mga CI, you need to fill out this form. Pag aalis kayo, magta-travel na kayo going to Bontoc or going to Lepanto, you have to accomplish this form. And you have to submit it at the guard on duty. For the type of transportation, if it is van, then you have to specify it. Medical certificates, affidavit of undertaking, and waivers. So these are the RLE requirements that you need to submit. For cluster A, I asked them yata to submit it on August 29, and for cluster B, to submit it on August 22 to your lecturers, maternal lecturers. That is Ma'am Palge and Ma'am Paloga. Ma'am Palge and Ma'am Paloga. Okay, for these forms, students are required to submit medical certificates upon claiming the results from the UB clinic. So, kailangan isubmit mo na agad siya. Students are required to submit the respective waivers prior to the RLE or clinical duty. The no waiver, no duty policy shall be enforced by the clinical instructors. So, calling the attention of the clinical instructors, you have to check, please, for the presence of the waiver. Actually, we required our students to submit their forms or their RLE requirements to the maternal lecturers. So we have to double check it. Students are required to submit certificate of Hep B vaccination at the UB clinic during the medical exam. Okay. For those who have a Hep B vaccination, you have to present it on the UB clinic. Minsan nagkakaroon sila ng Hep B screening. You have to, and kailangan ka mabigyan ng Hep B vaccine, then you have to follow the instructions. Okay, so yes, we have the waiver pregnancy for female. The waiver pregnancy should be filled out only by the female students, okay, by our female students. Just in case that you are positive, you are pregnant and you are at the middle of the SEM, so you need to drop your RLE subjects. Your RLE subjects lang naman ang idadrop mo, and you have to continue with your lectures. Okay, so you can still attend if you are pregnant at the middle of the SEM, and pwede mo pa rin attendan yung lecture. Yung RLE lang po na subjects ang kailangan mong i-drop, because for safety purposes, for the safety of you as a future mother and for your unborn baby, then we are not requiring you to go for duty. That's why we advise you to drop your RLE subjects. For the medical or health certificate, that is 1 year valid. There is a 1 year validity. So by third year, okay, you are requiring again to have a medical exam, that is annual physical exam. Okay, and let's say October ka nagpa-medical exam, ang validity nun hanggang October. So by third year, pwede ka magpa-medical ng October, or pag hindi, gawin mo ng August lagi. August kasi timing na doon ang start ng pasukan natin. Vaccination card or vaccination certificate, we are talking about here your COVID vaccines. Okay. For this COVID vax certificate, we are requiring you to have the photocopy, which will be placed in a brown envelope. Okay. For the waiver for duty, original copy, the links, actually the forms were posted in our FB page. Okay. Undertakings, you just have to submit the signed form, because the school will be the one to process the notary at the law office. For the drug and neuro test from the OH accredited medical labs, or original, should be the original copy. Yes, for some students, they're finished already with this drug and neuro test. So meron mga na-require mga high precision, yes, those are the medical labs or laboratory diagnostic that caters for the drug and neuro test, the high precision, which is DOH accredited. COVID vaccine certificate, medical insurance, photocopy of the ID of the member. So example for 21 and below, for 21 and below, you are considered dependent of your parents. You can still use the medical insurance of your parents. So you can photocopy the ID and you will submit that one. For those 21 and above, so you must have you have to fill out the undertakings, since you are not requiring, you are not going to, if you don't like to be a member of the PhilHealth insurance. Okay, but we advise you to have PhilHealth membership, okay, as your medical insurance for the 21 years old and above. Okay. Acknowledgement of the RLE policy signed by the parents, guardians, and student. So the acknowledgement of the RLE policy, which was posted in our FB page, please let your parent sign it. And you also, you as a student. Okay, for the RLE courses, we have the NPHAR, or the pharmacology in nursing. We have one rotation. And this, we have one rotation for the pharmacology in nursing, and you can have that at 6 days skills laboratory. Okay, skills lab pharma. Ang isang rotation kasi natin of duty, we are talking about here a duty. Okay, pag sinabi natin one rotation, 6 days na duty yon. Okay, so 6 days na skills lab pharma. So you are here in the school for this skills lab pharma. Okay, may 5 rotations under the course NCL MCA1. Kung sino man ang enrolled sa NCL MCA1, kailangan matapos ninyo yung 5 rotations, okay, or 5 na duty. And sa 5 na rotations na yun, sa 5 na duty, there are 2 hospitals, 2 skills lab, and 1 enhancement. Okay, yung mga enrolled ng NCL MCA1. So sa hospitals, so we have 1 delivery, 1 OB ward, and EINC as your skills lab. Yung skills lab natin at saka enhancement dito sa school, dito kayo sa school pupunta. For the hospitals, you will be deployed to the different hospitals. For the 2 rotations ng community, we have 1 community duty to be deployed in the area and 1 skills lab or school nursing. For this community, kasama dito ang school nursing na 3 days and skills lab. Yung skills lab ulit, dito kayo sa school mag-duty, yung mga skills lab. For the school nursing, of course, you will be deployed sa elementary school or high school. All in all, you must complete 8 rotations if you are enrolled on these 3 RLE courses. Kung enrolled ka lang sa pharmacology in nursing, 1 lang na rotation ang tatapusin mo. Pag community nursing lang ang in-enroll mo, NCL CHN1, 2 rotations lang ang i-duty mo. Kasi meron kasi tayong mga students na pharmacology lang ang na-enroll nila. Wala silang NCL MCA1, wala silang NCL CHN1. Kaya class, 3 ang groupings. There are different groups on these courses. Okay, on these 3 courses. So, swerte mo na lang kung group 1 ka lagi sa pharmacology, sa care of mother, sa community and health nursing. Swerte mo kung group 1 ka lagi on these 3 subjects para hindi ka malito. Kasi with these 3 subjects, baka malito ka, hindi mo na matandaan kung anong group mo sa pharma, hindi mo alam ang group mo sa NCL, MCA, and so on and so forth. Okay, our hospitals for level 2. So we have the Baguio General Hospital and Benguet General Hospital. So this is within Baguio. For Baguio General Hospital, you will be deployed at DRPNCU. DRPNCU kasi ang tawag nila, Pediatric Neonatal Care Unit. Okay, yun yung dati DR nursery ang tawag namin, pero ngayon ginawa nilang DRPNCU. Okay, and OB ward. So 2 areas lang po tayo sa BGH. You have an online orientation to get the certificate of completion prior to duty. This certificate, you have to submit it in the hospital, in BGH. That's why I ask some of your clinical instructors to get your contact details, your email, and your contact number because we have to submit that in BGH in order for you to get the password and the username for the LMS that you are going to. Kasi asynchronous ito na gagawin ninyo, itong online orientation sa BGH at your own convenient time. So you have to finish this. May quiz ito, may exam after this online orientation. Kailangang maipasa mo, you will get a passing score before you will get the certificate. Pag hindi mo maipasa-pasa yung exam sa online orientation, hindi mo makukuha ang certificate mo. Pag walang certificate, hindi ka makaka-duty sa BGH. Okay. And according to BGH, so OB ward, there are 12 students only per shift. And for the DR, 6 na person lang. Okay, 6 na students lang ang i-accommodate sa DR. Now, question, how about the other 6? Example, 12 members in a group. How about the other 6? Okay, alternate po kayo na papasok sa DR. Okay, so for the first 3 days, yung other 6, and then the other half will be the last 3 days. And during, pag hindi naka-duty, yung other 6, ang ginagawa is may ibibigay na mga activities or requirements for you to accomplish by your clinical instructor. BEGH or Benguet General Hospital, online orientation of the 8 groups. There are 8 groups to be rotated sa Benguet General Hospitals, and you will be having the virtual orientation in the afternoon at 1 p.m. So kailangan daw maaga daw tayong pupunta. Okay? Maaga daw tayong a-attend. Okay? And wala na tayong RT-PCR for that. But if you are fully vaxxed but not boosted, you have to undergo routine RT-PCR. So it's very important that you have a booster dose so that you will not be having the RT-PCR in Benguet Gen. Okay, for CHDG, Cordillera Hospital of the Divine Grace or OB Surge, our area there is the OB Surge and we need PPE. For the NBDH or Northern Benguet District Hospital, this is in Bugyas. We are assigned all wards. So you have your DR, you have your ER, you have your OPD and wards. Okay. No giving of IV meds. Need PPE. So if you are assigned in BDH or Bugyas, please get your PPE and face shield. Kasi kailangan pa ang face shield nila sa ER at OPD. Okay. For the Lepanto Hospital, we have the birth certificate from PSA, nire-require yun ng isang hospital, ay ng Lepanto. And there's a payment for the staff house there, 250 pesos. And for the Bontoc General Hospital, still need RT-PCR and we need PPE. Okay, so that one, for that, yan yung mga students natin na nagpunta sa Luis Hora. They were assigned sa DR with their scrub suits. So they were oriented by Sir Ken, okay, one of the clinical instructors. Okay, there at the DR, if you notice, tatlo ang nang-assist sa isang delivery. Tatlo class because yung isa actual, yung isa assist, and the third one is cord care. Itong naka-gloves, yan yung actual nurse. Okay, so they are assisting a delivery case during this time. That is a year ago. Okay. So yan, there's for that a newborn, dapat naka-standby to catch the baby for the DR. Okay, so that one sa Luis Bauco, yan, sa staff house natin nun. Okay, for the community nursing, we have Barangay Luknab and Barangay Happy Hollow. Okay, and for the school nursing, we have Milan National High School to be started next week. We have Pugis Elementary School and we have La Trinidad Central School. And according to the school nurse, we have to include psychological support or mental health in one of our activities in school nursing. Yun yung isang requirement because of this pandemic. Okay, so RLE lecture schedule, since naka-post na to sa ating FB page. Okay, so for the last one, there are cases to complete. So this one, 3 actual nurse, 3 assist nurse, and 3 cord care nurse. Okay, so this one you have to complete at the end of your school, the end of by fourth year, you are actually already completed 3 actual nurse, 3 assist nurse, and 3 cord care nurse. And for the 3:11 and 11:07 a.m. shift, you have to start on Sunday. Okay, kailangan laging nag-start ng Sunday. Contact your CI 3 days before the duty, and the communication time is from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. unless emergency. Kasi ay napapansin namin, lagpas 10:00 na ng gabi, marami pa rin nagme-message sa amin. Okay, we are not going to entertain those. So 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. unless emergency po, then you can contact your CI. May I ask all the students to join our FB Facebook page, BSN2 AY 2022-2023. AY stands for academic year. Please don't join the BSN2 only because that was last semester's FB page. And for dress code during lecture, marami kaming na-receive na comments. Marami pa rin sa inyo ang may mga nagsusuot pa rin ng hanging blouse. So kita ang tiyan. So please, you have to observe the proper dress code when you come to school. And then the medical exam starts on August 24. Okay, so yun po, ang schedule ng medical exam will be posted soon in our FB page. Okay, so that's all for now, and thank you for listening.
All right. Thank you, Ma'am Diane, for that policies that you have discussed. I believe second year students, you are very well excited to have your duties. Along with these duties is a great responsibility. So please be responsible in following such policy that we have to avoid your sanctions. Now for the question and answer, okay, may I have Ma'am Charmaine and Ma'am Nancy already to read the questions that we have to be answered by our dean and by our dean and program chair and level coordinator.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Okay, for the first question, so I think most of the questions here were already answered during the orientation. Maybe for clarification na lang yung iba, guys. So, okay, so for the first question, magkano po yung amount na babayaran if ever may unexcused absence po? So, I think it was answered a while ago that it's 800 for 8 hours. So, that is for 1 day. Okay, so say for example, it's 1:3. So, it's okay, so okay na ba, ma'am? So again, let me repeat, for your makeup duty, it's 100 per hour. Okay, so depende na lang kung ilang days yan ang ibibigay sa inyo. So that's 100 per hour. Okay, so 800 per one rotation, 1 day. Okay. Okay, so another one. So may concern lang po ako about the affidavit. Paano po, halimbawa, malayo po ako sa parent ko, pwede po kayang yung landlord na lang po dito sa apartment na tinutuluyan ko po ang parang magsilbing guardian ko po. Okay, Ma'am Diane or Ma'am? Hello?
Hello.
Yes, about that, about the undertakings, you might ask your parent to send the screenshot of his or her signature and then send it to you, and then you have to attach it to your undertakings.
May I add something to that? Ma'am Diane?
Yes, ma'am. Sige.
Okay. The reason why we do not want your landlords to sign that undertaking is that the question will be, will they be able to answer for you if something happens? It's not that we are praying that something might happen or we're looking forward that something will happen to you, but what if we do not know? Okay, so if anything happens to you, will the landlord or your landlady be able to answer for you? That is the question. That's the reason why we do not also want to put your landlord or your landladies into a situation. Okay, that's why we really want your parents, your guardians to be the one to sign that.
Okay, thank you, Ma'am Banji, for that one. So all clear. So next question. With regards to the requirements, guys, kasi may question dito, mga preferred sizes of papers that would be given to you by your assigned CIs already, okay, during your rotation. Okay. So, required din po ba magpa-PhilHealth ID for second year? Is this yung mga ano siguro, ma'am? Siguro yung mga meron age 21 below or 21 above? Siguro ang
Yes,
ano nito.
diba, it was mentioned a while
Yeah, a while
ago
ago.
that it's not the school that is requiring your medical insurance, but it is the hospital that is requiring it. So we have to abide with that, because even instructors are required to have their medical insurance. So if you are under age, you are not of age, you cannot yet become a member of the PhilHealth, then you have to get a copy of the MDR of your parents, wherein your name is included there, meaning to say you are a dependent of the parent. Okay, and you can also maybe photocopy the ID, PhilHealth ID of your parents. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Okay, another question. Siguro excited na sila dito, ma'am. Is there any cupping and pinning ceremony daw?
Ma'am Dayan.
Yes, absolutely. You will be having the cupping and pinning ceremony on November 11 and 12.
Okay, so thank you, Ma'am Dayan. Another one, this was already answered a while ago regarding the uniform. Okay, yung it was reiterated already about the shoes and yung mga color, okay? So white leather shoes po. For your hospital duty, not only the females but also males. Okay, is it ayan, na-answeran na to. Again, siguro clarification lang ito, ma'am, ulit. May nagtanong, kanino po isi-send ang excuse letter if ever mag-absent po? Kay din po ba daw ulit or kay mga clinical instructors? Nasabi ata kanina. Ma'am Dayan, paki-clarify po ulit. Thank you po.
Yes, about that letter, of course, first you have to submit that to your clinical instructor. If it is during your lecture hours, you have to give the letter to your lecturer. If it is in the clinical duty, you have to give that to your clinical instructor assigned to you. And that clinical instructor will submit your excuse letter to us.
Thank you, Ma'am Dayan. Okay, so another one here, with regards to your paraphernalia, kasi tinatanong, ma'am, saan sila bibili? Meron daw bang assigned, pagkukuhanan na para daw uniform kung saan sila bibili ng paraphernalia nila?
Thank you, Ma'am Paloma. That's a good question. Actually, the next presentation is all about this medical supplies that you can go to buy these requirements, this paraphernalia, your OB bag, and other things. I guess since there's no time, can we share the PPT to our students. Where's Ma'am Zorin? This is the presentation for this medical supply. Yes, we will give you the details about these medical supplies. Will you allow me to present the medical supplies that is required? Okay, class, what we are going to do is we are going to share the PowerPoint for this medical supplies that you are asking, where you can buy the medical supplies, you can buy the paraphernalia, you can buy the OB bag and all. Okay, so we will be sharing it in our Facebook page. Thank you.
Okay. Wait lang. Okay, so most of the questions here were already answered. About regarding PhilHealth, pareho naman po yung kanina. Okay, I think, are there any more questions? Guys, may questions pa ba? I think it was all discussed here. So I think, okay, thank you guys for those questions. Let me give again the virtual floor to Ma'am Surin.
All right. So no more questions. I think all questions was already answered by our dean, by our level coordinator, and our program chair. So we are down to our last part. Andyan pa ba kayo? Pahingi naman po ulit ng puso. Pag andyan pa po kayo, pahingi po ng puso. Okay, hold on guys. Okay, hold on. Ay, bakit? Bakit may galit? Bakit? Sorry po. Alam ko gutom ka po at gutom na din po kami. But still, we're down to our last and very important, okay, part also of our orientation proper for today. So may I ask Ma'am Isa Potter?
Ayan. Gutom na rin ako, Ma'am Zorin.
Yes, ma'am. Fiesta tayo after.
Yes. Okay. So again, good morning, dear students of second year. Yes, and second year of University of Baguio School of Nursing. Konti lang naman ito because you're already second year, so most probably 2 hours. Are you giving me 2 hours or 20 minutes? Okay. Anyway, so we have now here our risk management framework for the School of Nursing. Definitely, why do we have this kind of framework? Why do we have to have this kind of plan? Because again and again, it was mentioned by the dean, by the program chair, the School of Nursing, specifically in our university, is so unique in so many ways compared to other programs and courses, of course. So in here, for the risk management framework that we'll be having, I will be sharing with you the purpose. What's the rationale? Why do we have this framework? Definitely because we don't want things to happen in the future. We don't like hazardous things and dangerous things to happen in the future, especially that you will be going for your duties already. And of course, this is not only for you guys. This is for us to achieve our objectives. And what's our main objective here? This is for you to get your license in the future. Of course, to graduate first, then get your license as registered nurses. Okay, so we have the subtopics, I would say, on the risk levels and areas in our risk management. We have the in-campus, those activities that would be done inside the school premises. We have the off-campus activities that includes our duties, our related learning experience, whether it be in Baguio City, in La Trinidad, or maybe outside Baguio and La Trinidad. That also includes now our duties in the community and the school nursing. Of course, we don't like things to we don't like further injuries or damages when it comes to incidences related to natural phenomenons or maybe man-made disasters. And because we love you guys, we love you students, we don't like any mental health risks or incidences that you will be encountering during your stay in the university. So let's discuss further on this. Of course, we have identified different risks in the university, the low, medium, high, and the extreme. So this is applicable to each and every one of us. Sabi nga nila, safety and security is the concern of everybody. It's not only me and you, but it's for everybody. So this is applicable to the student, staff, and faculty of the School of Nursing. This, of course, the risk management framework will give us the familiarization on our evacuation plan, on our building structure, right? The postings that we have in our vicinity. So each and every incident or injuries that may happen would be logged in our risk management logbook. Of course, we have point persons. For the point persons, it would not only be the faculty members, but that would include you as students. So if you are the first responder, if you are the rescuer during the time of incidents, you will be considered as our point person. Failure, of course, to comply with this PPG, the programs, policies, and guidelines of the risk management framework of the University of Baguio School of Nursing would be subject for corrective action report. That is the same thing since Ma'am Amwao, Ma'am Diana Amwao had already discussed with you the different liabilities, the punishments, and corrective actions to be done. It's the same thing here. We have to follow the guidelines for us to prevent from getting corrective actions in the future. Again, that would include your makeup duty. So we have to report everything, the incidences in our school that to our level coordinator, to our program chair, and of course to the office of the dean. So in our plan, we have identified, as I've mentioned to you, the risk management plan of the School of Nursing. These are our risks. If we are within the school premises, we have risks on transmission of communicable diseases. And you have tried this one because we already had our face-to-face classes last semester. So we follow the protocols. Always log in your safety application. That is based on our occupational safety and hazard prime. We have the primer, we have the handbook for the communicable diseases. So again, upon entering the school premises, use your Stay Safe app. We have incidences on risk for injuries and accidents. We'll be discussing the algorithm. Damages to properties and facilities. Again, we have algorithms to follow for these ones. Also, there could be incidences of violence, assault, which is also applicable in our RLE. So for this one, we follow the algorithm on violence and assault. Other activity-related incidences, like what if we are having now your capping and pinning, and there are some cases like loss of property, stampede, fainting, health deprivation, right? So we have an algorithm to follow for you not to get lost if in cases we have these incidences. During out of campus activities, Okay, out of school activities, we have outreach or community outreach activities. From time to time, we'll be asking if you would like to volunteer for community activities and outreach activities. And I hope you will find time also during your free time to come and join us with your spare time, short period of time, and had our community activities under the ECOS. But of course, we wanted you to have your safety again. So we will check on the algorithm for our incidences related to outreach activities. When it comes to incidences related to natural phenomenon or man-made disasters, what if there would be an earthquake, right? What do we do during earthquake incidences? What do we do during building collapse, during fire, right? Building fire. So are we prepared? Are we ready for this? When you enter the school premises, have you tried to check on the evacuation plan and emergency posters in there? So let's see if you are doing this ones, guys. And also, we do not like terrorism attacks, bomb threats to happen in our school vicinity. So again and again, if you heard of the terrorism attacks in the United States, more often than not, it happens in school premises because it's where they can see that a group of students or a group of people are compacted. So most of the time, a lot of gun shooting happens in the United States, terrorism attacks in school premises. So we don't like those things to happen to us. So we do our part. We'll be checking on the algorithm on incidences related to terrorism attacks. Also, we have when we go for duties, whether inside Baguio City, La Trinidad, and outside, we have those risks related to travel. Okay, what if during your travel you have flat tire, engine deficiencies? Okay, those problems on driver related, passenger related, then at least we have now this management plan. For also other risks like while having your duty and you suddenly had illness, unprecedented illnesses, sudden illness, what do? Right? Do you go home immediately? All right, that's a no-no. So we follow the algorithm on unprecedented illnesses. We also have algorithm when we travel to other places aside from Baguio and La Trinidad. Then there could be vehicular accidents. Okay, we don't like those things to happen, but again and again, we have to be prepared always. And of course, from those ones, we do not like, or we follow now the CHED Memorandum Order 63. This is very comprehensive when it comes to travel related. Okay, so for our own safety. We also have incidences related to peeping Tom, voyeurism, harassment, and malicious mischief when you go or when we go for duties. So we don't like these things to happen, especially that we are not in our comfort zones. We have to be prepared and we have to stay safe. Again, when it comes to loss of property and belongingness, then we check how do we deal with this kind of incidences. Okay. Again, if we are on duty, there are risks for exposure and transmission of diseases. Okay, so we check how do we prevent those kinds of things. And we prevent also, we don't like untoward incidences like violence, injuries, or even death to happen. That's why we would always have this reminder to you students when you go for duties, you do not go there to do whatever you wanted to do. It's not your comfort zone. So you are not allowed to bring liquor, to drink liquor, to do your sessions in your accommodation area. You went there for duty. So if you are in your accommodation area, it's time for you to rest and do your activities set by the clinical instructor. For those things related to disasters, incidences like flooding, okay, there could be you will be given an orientation on the billing structure wherever you go, the area of your accommodation. So you will have your disaster response, just is in case, and of course in every group, like you have NBA 1, NBA 2, 3, 4, then each of you should at least have, di ba, may group leader kayo, then you should at least have first aid kit to be used by the whole group. Okay, we have incidences on sudden onset of illnesses, injuries for hit and run, okay, stab wounds and other untoward incidences. Students here are reminded not to go anywhere, like you will go for a tour, or maybe you would like to see something around the vicinities. You are not allowed to go alone. All right, even if you just have to buy your foods, then you are not allowed to go alone. For night duties, you will go outside your accommodation area with your clinical instructor as a group, then you go back as a group after the duty. For damages of properties, sometimes this happens, so we check on how we deal with it. And of course, let's not forget again, we don't like students to face psychological or mental health problems. We don't like suicidal tendencies, self-harm, or maybe harming others. So we would like you to be aware that the School of Nursing has this mental health program. We'll be having literacy training, capability skills training. There could be creation of mental health providers or counselors. And we have 2 counselors in the School of Nursing. If you need help, inform your CI, then your CI will be informing the 2 counselors or providers, Ma'am Ivy Marbella and Ma'am Nelly De Vera. So they are expert when it comes to these mental health risks and cases. So this is what I'm telling you a while ago. First one is our algorithm on injuries. Just in case you are in the school vicinity, tapos nadulas kayo, right? If you've detected a wet floor, maybe faulty wiring, then inform the faculty or any faculty member or the LC or the PC or the dean about the risk that was detected. And then that would be now referred by the secretary, school secretary, to the CPDO or the department in charge. So they will be the one to clean up the mess. They will be the one to fix the damages that were detected. If there is an injury, you guys again can be the responders, but you cannot be a responder without anything nahawak ninyo, without your first aid kit. How can you respond without anything at hand, right? So always survey the scene when you do your response. Baka naman magre-responde ka tas nadulas ka din. Okay? Scene safety always. And then we assess the casualty. If the injury is manageable, then we do our first aid measures. But we also refer the student or any faculty that was affected to the school clinic. If it's not manageable naman, we still do the first aid and we call for help, and then we have to bring the casualty to the nearest hospital or clinic. So again and again, we do the IR as mentioned by Ma'am Diane also a while ago. In every incident that happens, we do IR, incident report, and then we submit so that we have reference for information and proper intervention. Maybe that could be also a way for us to improve our risk management. For algorithm also, when it comes to damaged properties, guys, when you enter the classroom, especially you second years, you will be having your skills laboratory, your demonstrations. Inside the skills laboratory, upon entering, check the things, the facility, the equipment that are inside the classroom. Once there is a detected risk or damage, inform immediately for proper intervention. But if that danger or that hazard is now impedes danger already to you guys, then we have to report immediately. Then there could be possibility of changing classroom or class cancellation. For change of classroom, we check and inspect the classroom. Also, after inspection, if there is a need for changing of classroom, the coordinator could check the vacant rooms for you to have your demonstrations or other activities. Okay, so again, we do incident report. The student and the faculty member would be doing the incident report that would be logged in and submitted again. We have algorithm on violence or assault. So it's either faculty to faculty, students to faculty, students to students, or vice versa. Then we have here checking on the situation, surveying the situation. So we have to call a faculty member or a security office to pacify the situation. And for that one, if there is an injury again, we go back to the algorithm on injury. We do IR and then we log in again. Okay, for students who are involved, you now are required to have your letter of explanation to be submitted. And from that letter of explanation, you might be having, depending on the assessment, you might be having a makeup duty. Okay, there is a equivalent liability for whatever acts we do. Okay, we also have algorithm on activity-related incidences. If we are attending activities below 20, then we follow protocols. If there are injuries, we follow algorithm on injuries. If that is above 20, then again and again, like your capping and pinning, the upcoming capping and pinning, you will be oriented on the risk management of the program. And then we will be asking assistance from the security office for crowd control, safety, and security. For the treatment area, we have student volunteers from Red Crescent of the University School of Nursing. And from there, they will be putting up a booth for emergency cases, okay, during the program. So we assign also some volunteer students if necessary. Again, if there are injuries during the program, we follow or we refer immediately to our treatment area. So from there, we'll be doing our incident report. Okay, we now have here algorithm on activity that's doubled. We proceed with algorithm on incidences related to natural phenomenon and man-made disasters. Remember, guys, when you go inside the school premises, you use your Stay Safe app. And then when you go up off the stairs, have you read the posters there sa second floor, third floor, nakapost yan? Things to do during emergencies, things to do during earthquake, things to do during building fire. Nandun lahat yon. You just have to read on them. Do you know where is the alarm? Fire alarm in cases of fire? Do you know where the fire extinguishers are? So you have the responsibility also to orient yourselves in the building structure. Do you know, just in cases that we have to evacuate from classroom, do you know where the evacuation area is? So it's located at the parking area just outside the A building where we where the School of Nursing is in. So from there, in cases of we have to evacuate, we have to move out, please do not go home immediately. Tendencies are students would go home immediately after going outside the building. Please do not do that. Be group yourselves according to your sections. Do your head count. You have your president, you have your instructor, do the head count, and if everybody's complete, then you can go home. There would be an order that you are already allowed to go home. If not, paano kung umuwi ka tapos yung kaklase mo, hinanap ka sa loob. That's another danger. So please help one another. We do the head count outside and we inform if we are complete and safe. Also from there, we note that all faculty and students and staff are present during the incident. And then if there is a need for psychological first aid, again, we have our point persons for mental health and we refer accordingly. We again document those incidences. For algorithms related to travel, we have here, just in case we have vehicular accidents, we call for help. We have to inform our CI. Like if you will be having your duty in the CHDG, right? So you just have to inform your CI and tell them that there is engine problem, okay, there is a vehicular accident, so that we will be making an incident report. And of course, you student will still be needing a letter of explanation. Sabi nga ni Ma'am Dayan kanina, it's our basis if you are excused or not excused. So we submit that one to our LC and PC. And then of course, we do not forget you students, we monitor students. Just in cases along the way there are harassments or other incidences related to travel, still you inform the instructor and then go to the nearest police station for report. Okay. Also, if there is a need for a medical help, go to the nearest medical health facility. We do IR and submit again. For our algorithm on unprecedented illnesses, we have, if manageable, then we just have to make an LE and report immediately. If that illness needs hospitalization, we call for help and bring the student to the nearest hospital. If the CI is sick, the CI will be informing the level coordinator. Still, the duty would resume because the CI would be replaced. If the student is sick, and we have to inform the guardian because we are already in our area of duty outside Baguio, we make incident report. The student will be making LE, of course. And if that is a flu-like or communicable diseases, then we follow the protocols on transmission of diseases. If that is within Baguio, then we hold students according to the protocol of the community, the LGU or the hospital. The same thing with duty outside Baguio and La Trinidad. Okay, and then again, that is for makeup duty. If there is a mass casualty, there could be an errand personnel to be appointed by the dean if necessary to check and monitor the student's status and the faculty status. For injuries and other incidences during travel, okay, if the incident would only affect the duty, then we resume duty upon the approval of the dean. But if the incident is mass casualty again, and there are severe injuries, then a high possibility of cancellation of duty accordingly. And that depends again with the assessment, and that would be upon the approval of the dean. Of course, the dean would know if that is immediate, then she would issue an immediate cancellation of duty. If no update from the CI upon the arrival and departure, then the CI would be given corrective action also. So we should know, the school should know if you already traveled from Baguio going to your area and from your area going to Baguio City. We also have for voyeurism and harassment students, when we go for duty, please do not wear daring clothes. You are not in your comfort zones. You are in the area where you do not know the community. So please never wear daring clothes, even if you are inside your rooms or accommodation area. That is a no-no. If the incident does not affect the duty, then the duty should resume. If it affects the duty, then if it's only the time that is affected, then there could be a go signal from the dean or the level coordinator that you should resume for duty. But if there is already danger, then again, an approval for cancellation of duty will be from our dean. Of course, makeup duty or alternative duty would apply in these cases. Again, the reminder here, please do not wear daring clothes. Also, we have algorithm on loss of property or properties. Guys, if one of your group mates lost or maybe a money is missing, nawawala yung pera niya, please do not try to kalkal, right? Do not intrude the properties of your classmates. What's the best thing to do? Report to the nearest police station, and they will be the one to give orders that you have to open all your bags and belongings. Okay? Because if you do that, then another problem would occur. Paano pag dinemanda kayo nung kaklase nyo that you are pinpointing them for the loss of property? So do not do that. Let the authority do it. If again, it does not affect the duty, then we resume for duty. If it affects time, then we wait for the go signal from the school. And if it causes danger, then there would be cancellation of duty. We have algorithm on damaged properties. For damaged properties, in the accommodation area, even in the hospital of duty, even the school and the community, once it's proven that you lost the property, you have to replace them. So be careful. You have to know what are the things that you are using. Alam dapat ninyo kung ano yung meron pagdating ninyo at wala nung pag-alis ninyo. Okay, so if there is possibility of repairing the equipment, then you have the responsibility to repair it. If cannot be repaired, then we have to replace it. Okay, another reminder for damaged properties, when you go for your accommodation area, sanitation is very important. Please maintain the dignity of the University School of Nursing, that when we go to the area, the area is clean. So when we leave the area, we leave it clean also. You should know where to throw your garbage and waste. Do not leave it there. Once proven that you are the ones who left those garbage, again, that is a ground for makeup duty. Okay, and so if you have questions, kindly let Ma'am Zorine know your questions. Shortcut na lang yon. If for other queries, we'll have discussion further in our classrooms. Again, guys, hang in there. The road to RN is all up here. Have a great day, everyone.
Thank you very much, Ma'am Potter. So I believe our students know what to do later on when there are some risks that will happen, or yeah. So let's call. We are down already to the last part of our program. I know that you are hungry, so with no so much ado, may I call on Dr. Carame, Ma'am Juvie Carame, to give the closing remarks.
To the Dean of the School of Nursing, Ma'am Helen Alalag, to our Program Chair, Ma'am Evangeline Suliba, to our Level 2 Coordinator, Ma'am Diana Marie Amuao, to our co-faculty, to our students, good morning. Indeed, this activity would not be successful without your presence. In behalf of the meeting facilitators, I would like to thank you all for taking part in our School of Nursing Level 2 meeting. The meeting was formally started by welcome remarks. The meeting's goals and objectives were also stated the speakers were introduced and topics were discussed. I hope that this meeting enlightened you, dear students, of the things that you need to know, especially the vision, mission, objectives, and programs of the University of Baguio, as well as the curriculum of the School of Nursing. I also hope that you were also enlightened with other important topics about your hospital affiliation, duties, and responsibilities. The physical setup of our school was also presented, including updates on the protocols, class monitoring, our leave policies, guidelines, and other concerns. To sum it up, I hope that everyone has learned something from this meeting. Thank you very much to each and every one of you, especially to our speakers for sharing their ideas regarding their topics. Again, a pleasant day to everyone. To you, Ma'am Serene.
Thank you very much, Ma'am Karame. So we are, that's it. That's the sum up of our orientation for today. Please guys, do not forget to evaluate. Again, no attendance, no evaluation. Ibig sabihin po, absent. So it was discussed a while ago na may sanction din yan. Okay, so please do not forget to evaluate, guys. Thank you very much and happy lunch, everyone.
Announcement to NBH 1, NBH 2, NBH 3, and NBH 4, and NBB 2, NBC 2, and NBD 4 who will be attending the orientation virtually at Benguet Chen. Please enter the virtual room 10 minutes before 1 o'clock p.m. Thank you and see you there.